Welcome, Tom.
Mike.
AM.
In the PA.
HUDRadio.com, live from the BMW of Atlantic City Studios. Every Wednesday night, we're brought to you by Gibson Mayer, LLC, our certified public accountant. Make him yours. Find him on the web, GibsonMayer.com. Tom Renaud, Michael Mataraki, Greg Milwakovic, Rob Povey on the ones and twos. A lot to talk about tonight. Been on hiatus, boys, so tons to talk about.
Talk about a busy 2 weeks.
It's been a while.
I got a bachelor party this weekend, too, so let the festivities just continue. We'll do a little around the horn later. Bryce Harper's injury. Nats playoff hopes. Cubs, a little resurgence here, second half. We'll get into that. Remembering Dutch. We'll spend a few minutes there as well. Talk about, your favorite memory of 93. We'll do that one. We'll give our thoughts. Rhys Hoskins, stay with the Phillies for a minute. What's your thoughts on the kid? Right? Does Alfaro need to play more? Right? Should Rupp ever be taking time from Alfaro is the question at this point, too.
Not anymore.
So, and we'll talk about that. We're willing to deal with sweeps and what comes with bringing up all the pups at once. Because guess what? We talked about that ad nauseum for 2 years. Let them build together, learn how to start winning together. Sure. And you're going to take some lumps early on. We'll get into that later on in the show. Reaction to Zeke. Where does that put the Cowboys win-loss record for you? Does this change it? We were talking before the show about somebody sticking with the same one. And you gotta change it up. So we'll get into that later on as well. But it's going to be heavy Eagles to get the party started here.
As well it should be.
Is that you?
Yeah, it's me.
Oh,
sorry.
Heard myself twice. Come
on, noob.
Just try to share it. My bad.
Hey, at least you're sharing.
We'll break down some camp.
That's never a problem.
All right, we'll break down some camp, and we'll talk about the trade that happened, which is our poll question. Are the Eagles a better team now with Ronald Darby at corner than they were with Jordan Matthews at wide receiver? Yes, no, too early to tell. Let us know. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. HUD Radio is where you can find us. And that's brought to you by Scanzano Sports. Find them on the web, scanzanosports.com. And all Eagles training camp brought to you by, when you got to clean up after camp, Soap Stash. Soap Stash LLC. Find them on the web, soapstash.com. Facebook, Soap Stash LLC. Let's get it rolling. We're answering all your questions as well. Gentlemen, are they a better team now than they were a handful of days ago after the deal?
I think it's easy. It's yes. I think anytime you address a need on defense, which is what we've always talked about, was their glaring hole, right? If this team was going to do anything this year, it was going to come from the defense. So you address the need, so I think it automatically makes them a better team.
I don't even think it's a question. I mean, even if you take a step back and look at it from a higher level, they weren't going to pay Jordan Matthews $12 million plus a year next year going forward to be a slot receiver. They drafted Nelson Aguilar for a reason. Now, maybe it was to be on the outside, and that could still be the case. But I think what they've seen in camp so far out of Nelson Aguilar, what they saw in the first preseason game out of Mac Hollins, kind of accelerated their process a little bit on Jordan Matthews. And Ronald Darby, I mean, 2 years in a row, he was on the all-25, under-25 team for the NFL. I mean, the guy is a world-class sprinter, and he's not afraid to stick his helmet in there and stop the run. So for me, it's an absolute no-brainer. And for people that are complaining that the Birds took away Carson Wentz's favorite target.
I'll grow up, Peter Pan, right? I mean, it's professional sports.
Watch how fast Alshon Jeffrey
you can still text each other.
Becomes his favorite target.
Well, he was friends with the wrong guy. He was friends with the wrong guy. Yeah, you get dinner. You can have a sleepover, whatever the hell you need. So, I mean, Carson gets I love Carson, right? And I'm big on Carson, and I think that's why the Eagles make the playoffs this year. But we are a little soft on the kid, too. And it's his best friend. He's a freaking grown man. He's a professional quarterback. He's going to have a lot of friends at this level. All right? And guys are going to come and go, but guys are going to stay once he gets better, too. And listen, the deal has to be made. I don't care how many good wideouts you have. If you can't cover any, and we weren't going to cover any, because Patrick Robinson stinks. We said it on the air. I'll say it ad nauseum when they signed him. He stinks. So you're not going to get away with a 6th, 7th round pick in Jalen Mills in his second year, and Patrick Robinson, you're going to get burnt. And burnt bad, and you need an upgrade big time. And listen, to get that upgrade, you got to give up a guy who has talent. Yes, Jordan Matthews, worker. Yes, film study guy. He does all the little things you ask from a football player, right? But one thing that he brought to the table that nobody freaking talks about that's complaining about it, he dropped a lot of goddamn footballs. And what's contagious like it is in baseball? Drops. Hits are contagious. Drops are contagious. playing the game the right way is contagious too. But a lot of drops.
Yeah.
And it's good. And listen, not see it, but I'm a Nelson guy. Kid's got tons of talent.
Oh, yeah.
And I think in the slot he's a problem. If he can get finished, he's a freaking problem.
Because he can run routes, whatever. His always been can he catch the ball. So I agree with you. I think Nelson it elevates this year.
No, I mean and if you think long term, if you look at next year moving forward and you look at the secondary, and in fact we could take a look at the defense as a whole. If you look at the secondary, if you're lining up Ronald Darby on one side and Sidney Jones on the other, and you have Jalen Mills and Rasul Douglas playing inside in the slot, and you don't have to bring Malcolm Jenkins up to play the slot anymore, which we've talked about ad nauseum. You got Rodney McLeod back there, and then you're just building depth. The defensive line, as it's structured right now, if they can extend these guys, then all you got to do is worry about finding yourself one stud linebacker. And this defense becomes ridiculous.
Yeah, and I know that going into it, we look at our front seven and we look at our front four, and you say, well, they should be able to get after the quarterback. They should be able to, real easy to get after the quarterback, and that's going to help your secondary, but not with Patrick Robinson as a starter. That's not going to help you. I don't care how quick you get there. All right, you get burned everywhere he's been. So this is an upgrade. I'm not crowning Ronald Darby, but it's a young guy. When you're talking about Florida State secondary guys, I'll take a chance with guys like that.
Yeah.
Right?
And not to mention,
like you said, track star, the things that come with it. You need guys who got speed and can cover.
Like Mike said, we're not signing Jordan Matthews to whatever he was going to worth.
Nope.
Darby's got 2 years left.
His numbers are skewed too, by the way. His numbers are skewed big time.
Ooh, Matthews?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
When they put him in lists of guys that were like going to be probably Hall of Famers when it's all said and done.
Well, it's real easy to be the number
stop.
one receiver on a bad team.
Well, yeah. Who else was Clarkson going to throw to?
Well, guess who did he have for 2 years as offensive coordinator and head coach?
Yeah.
And everybody's numbers are skewed in that offense.
Right.
You see it. When I bitch and moan about Cap, his numbers were skewed in that offense. Right? I mean, everybody. Mark Sanchez, Nick Foles, the list goes on.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to put too much stock in what he did with Chip.
But in that, Zach Ertz, disappeared at times. Nelson Aguilar had to drop problems. And who else was going to catch the ball?
Right.
At that point, who else was going to catch it? And Jordan didn't even do that very well.
No, he didn't. We crushed him around here. I love it. Like, as soon as he's gone, we get sensitive. Right? Like, as soon as a guy leaves, like Ryan Matthews, okay? You knew it was coming, Captain Obvious, right? Everybody knew it was coming. Roster. That wasn't breaking to me. I agree. Right? And then one guy who used to be a part of this, right, Sean Watson, says, oh, you're going to trash a guy on the way. Nobody's trashing. What? Because we all said, I hope he didn't drop the pink slip or fumble the pink slip.
What
was his issue here?
Hold on a second.
I'm supposed to get a guy over my knee and rob him and say, it's okay, baby, on your way out. His number ain't getting goddamn retired here. Yeah. Jesus.
This is the same Sean Watson who, when
they bunked together. They bunked together before him and Ryan.
This is the same Sean Watson who last year when Matthews got hurt came in here and said, oh, don't rip on the guy. His career's over. Well, guess what? His career's not over. It's just not happening here, so deal with it.
Nah, people want to cram.
And he's not going to take his mom and run away from you. Come on, buddy. Anyway.
We digress.
Look at the flip side of the situation, though, and you're going to have
I'll get to all the comments in a minute.
Yeah, you have these guys that say, well, Darby had a much better rookie year than he did his second year.
Who's defense coordinator?
Okay, fine. And
who is defense coordinator?
What is
Jim Schwartz?
His first year? Jim Schwartz.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
Thoughts.
So he had a little bit of a sophomore slump, and he's still a top 20 under 25 or a top 25 under 25. And oh, by the way, he's got to play Brady twice a year. So
he's in a bad conference.
Yeah, I mean he's in a bad conference, bad division, on a team that they're supposed to have this great pass rush with Mario Williams and the resurgent linebacker core and blah 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 whatever. Well, if they're that damn good, why are all their good defensive players coming to Philly? Because of Jim Schwartz.
Yeah.
So let's get Darby back into Jim Schwartz's system. Not have to have him go up against Brady twice a year. Roethlisberger, Manning,
Pick your poison, though. He's getting away from the QBs, and now he's getting absolute pups. He's got to face one-on-one, too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I take my money on him with the receivers over him against the quarterback. Yeah. I'll just throw that out there.
I mean, he's got Odell and Dez twice a year.
He'll run with them, though.
But I think that's also some Jalen's job, too.
Yeah, sure.
I don't think it's all necessarily going to be on him.
Now, comments are rolling in, too.
Yeah, let me get to Joe Moffitt. on the Facebook to the poll question, yes, that we are a better team now.
Sure.
James Gibson, time to listen in on the best internet radio show, A2D Radio and the Boys talk Philadelphia Eagles. And yes, that is Mike and Tom. It's us.
My man. Hey, Jim, invoices on the way, buddy.
Michael H. Davis, no, they're not in terms of being a better football team. They still have over-the-hill running backs, an undermatched head coach, underrated tight end, and subpar wide receivers. Okay.
We'll see. Some of that I agree with, some of that I don't.
Some I agree, yeah.
I agree with running backs is a question mark when you talk about kids, and that's it, and Sproles. And Blunt, yeah, but it's still.
I don't think Blunt's over the hill, though.
No,
I think Blunt's coming into his
I don't
prime.
think this year it's something to worry about. I think if you want to talk about 2 years down the road, okay, but that's the running back shelf lives anyway.
Yeah.
So, I'm not worried about that. That can be a plug-and-play type of situation.
That's
the one
position.
Yeah.
That is the one position we'll accept a Band-Aid year over year as running back.
Yeah, when you have your QB.
Right.
And if he is who we think he is.
Yeah.
Jason Seidel, Patrick Robinson needs to go.
Agreed.
We're a way better team now. So he agrees with that. We need to address running backs. I think we all can say that, but we did. Listen, I hate Howie, okay? And if they don't make the playoffs, Howie Roseman deserves to be fired in my eyes.
Sure.
But he did address it. LeGarrette Blount's a guy we needed, all right? And it's not a Super Bowl, make you a Super Bowl team, but it makes you down the goal line, tough situations, then 3rd and 1s we couldn't get, 4th and 1s. There's a guy who's going to have a better chance to get him.
Well, not only did he address it there, though, he knows that Darren Sproles is going into his final year, so he goes out and he drafts the guy in Donnell Pumphrey, who's basically going to wind up being the Sproles clone. He goes out as a rookie free agent and gets Corey Clement, who, by all rights, if he could have stayed healthy at Wisconsin, he would have been a high-round draft pick.
Local kid.
And a local kid, so there's some flavor there. He's still got Byron Marshall hanging around, who impressed at the end of last year. Wendell Smallwood is still in the mix, so it's not like not like this team doesn't have running backs. Just because they don't have the big sexy name, they don't need it.
Right. These guys who talk like you sort of need to hit the e-brake for a minute and relax, because again, if the guy behind center is who we think he is, you can plug and play the running back position. All the good ones do.
Yeah.
And I'll wait. And you tell me, who the hell does Aaron Rodgers have a running back? Converted goddamn wide receivers. But he's that good. He's going to get it done. They're going to win football games. Okay? You look around.
Same
right?
with Tom Brady.
You look at Brady. Okay?
Well,
Ben
Lewis.
Yeah, now Ben has Le'Veon and
that's the thing.
but it's different strokes.
I'll throw something out there
I'm
that's
not against one. I'm not saying I'm against
right, but
stuff.
I'll throw something out there that's in Robbie's wheelhouse on this one, that if you look at the Patriots in terms of a fantasy perspective, we'll take it there for a second. You don't ever draft a Patriots running back because you don't know from 1 week to the next, is it going to be LeGarrette Blount? Is it going to be Dion Lewis? Is it going to be James White? Because they just run them through based on the matchup, right, Rob?
It's 100% accurate. It's the offense that they run. That could be same for their wide receiver core too. That spread offense, it's very dynamic where one guy can go off 1 week, sets it up for another guy to do so the next week.
Right, and what makes anyone think that the Eagles aren't looking at the team that just came back from a 28-3 deficit and won the Super Bowl and saying, well, they go running back by committee. They have one big playmaker through the air in Gronk. Well, we'll have our one big playmaker through the air in Alshon.
And I'll one-up it, too. I'll go Big Red in KC to a point over the last couple of years where it's been
Alex Smith and Kelsey.
But it's been a committee backfield-wise.
Right.
It's been different guys.
Jamal Charles,
I think the days of you're still going to have your stud number one backs, but I think more and more teams lean towards breathers, get another guy, fresh legs in it. And I think a lot of teams see value in it, just like if you get teams that don't want to go out free agency and spend a lot of money on running backs and haven't had a chance to nail one, top 5 or top 10.
Yeah,
them teams are going to do it that way.
That's the other. The other aspect of it.
You don't spend money on running backs free agency.
You're saving the coin.
Right. Yeah. We got one on the YouTube chat.
Read them away.
So it's a little long, but it's taken the long view, and I love the comment. It's from AC Kid 50. It says, if Nelson can handle the slot, we could be a top 5 offense. Have a feeling that our run game is going to be ass, which we're addressing right now. But he says, can't wait to see Darby. I'm a J-Matt fan, but Darby is a game changer for our defense. If Mills is better and Jones comes back 100%, which of the three plays the slot for the next 5 years? And I love that he's looking 5 years down the road because obviously if you're that good, if you're that set on the outside with Darby and Sidney Jones, and you have Rasul Douglas and Jalen Mills as your 3 and 4, you could have either one of them in the slot based on the matchup. I mean, if you're playing a slot receiver who's, 6'4", 220, well, then it's Rasul Douglas. But if you have a guy in the slot like a Deshaun Jackson, well, then you're going to want Jalen Mills to run with him. And it gives them a lot of flexibility. But I love the comment where you're taking the long view of this because you have to. You have to assume that if Darby plays real well this year, as a 23-year-old, he's going to get extended. The Eagles aren't even going to let him go into that last year without some sort of commitment down the road. But they wouldn't have made the deal if they didn't see future potential.
Yeah, they didn't value.
Right. And here's the thing too is the Eagles, especially recently, haven't done a very good job of drafting a cornerback. So when you have an opportunity, whether Barnett works out to be who it is, this almost is kind of saying you can still be okay. Barnett could still work out, and now it turns out to be the wrong pick because you missed on those cornerbacks, which we don't draft well. So now that you don't draft well, you now have to go get one. And when you have to go get one, you got to give up stuff to get it. You got to
be creative to be able to go get one.
So this, I think, is them not necessarily saying Barnett was the wrong choice, but maybe we over-evaluated Patrick Peterson, who yes, looks good sitting next to
– Patrick Robinson.
Or Patrick Robinson.
I mean, I'd take Patrick Peterson in a heartbeat.
But who looks good sitting next to them, too.
Right.
Out in Arizona. And so that's where Darby, I think, because we didn't draft there and we don't draft there often and well, we now have to go get creative and get one.
Well, they haven't drafted really good corners since Lito and Sheldon. I mean, and that's at least 12 years ago at this point?
I was going to go 15, but pretty close.
And that's Andy days. I mean, Howie struggled in terms of drafting corners. Just like he struggled, for the most part, the ends.
The ends, and that's what scares me.
I mean, and same thing. I mean, with Chip, and when the years that he had quote unquote control. I don't know. I still have an issue, and I know it's past tense now because he's no longer on the team. But the whole thing with Marcus Smith, and people want to say that was 100% Howie. It can't be 100% Howie because if you look at the history. They did it with Lane Johnson, and they did it again with Marcus Smith. They went out and they got Brad Smith, and it was Chip at the podium saying, I value guys that have played quarterback at some point in their career. Lane Johnson was a quarterback. Marcus Smith was a quarterback. Brad Smith was a quarterback. Now Greg Ward was a quarterback. So, I mean, I get it, but the digression aside, There's certain picks that you can pin on certain guys, but if you go and you look at the entire roster when that final 53 is set this year, there's going to be maybe 2 or 3 guys that they drafted while Chip was here on the roster, and everybody else is either from the Wayback Machine or is a Howie pick or a Howie signing.
Yeah, I mean, and that's usually what happens too. Is you go get your own guys.
Yeah,
Chip did it.
You clear house.
How he's going to do it the way he wants to do it.
Yep.
And Mark Principe, I think I got it right. Barnett going to be great. You could see it already.
He does have a motor.
I don't doubt the guy can go get the quarterback at all.
Yeah.
I doubt the guy drafted him until I see the guy play.
Right.
And then I can
that's it.
stop doubting the guy drafted him. Michael DeAndrea, can't wait to see this offense. I'm excited to watch his team. Defense is going to be good as well. Jason Seidel, when we get Sidney Jones healthy, this is going to be a very dangerous defense. I'm not concerned about the offense at all. And Michael Wesley, I believe Henry Johnry should have a 3-year window. Not on the hot seat yet, but improvement should be made this year and playoffs next year, or Doug and Howie go. I'll one-up that. I think Doug stays, but Howie constructed this roster, and I look at it as a playoff team, and if it's not, it rests on him.
Yeah.
Howie's had his cup of tea here for a while.
He's been here long
enough.
enough.
The tea's been re-microwaved numerous times.
And there's a reason that Joe Douglas has as much say as he does. He's in grooming, if you will.
Ralphie D, who's trying to go to the game tomorrow. Mike's going.
I'll be there.
Mark Principe, again, Darby didn't fit in with the Bills' zone scheme. That's why he probably had a bad second year. Back with his man scheme and will flourish in the Eagles defense. Go Birds. And that's sort of what we were saying back with Jimmy.
We touched.
There you go. AC Kid 50 again. Outside of Kiko, the Eagles seem to get very good players from the Bills. True story.
Kiko was fine. He was just hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, he went down to Miami and did
Balled
really
out.
well.
Yeah.
Balled out down there.
F. Pietros tomorrow. Alshon and Darby on the field. Let's go Birds.
Yeah. Pop Montanez. What's up, fellas?
What's up, Pop?
Darby was a must. Not mad about the trade at all. Hounds is a guy to watch this season. I feel he takes over at some point on the outside over Torrey Smith. Cameron into the preseason too much, but he's a sleeper in my opinion.
I think Matt Collins is
And
going to
Michael
be.
Wesley said similar things
Yeah.
above that as well.
I think Matt Collins is actually going to be one of those guys whose game translates better to the NFL than it does college.
Sure.
Kyle, there's Kyle. Kyle Clyde. I don't even know who the hell you are, but I love you already.
What did you
Chip
say?
didn't ruin this team. Howie doesn't know how to run a front office.
Yes.
I think there's both sides of that argument you can make too. There's both sides. Both sides. But I agree. Howie personnel Howie isn't the Howie you want. You want Howie, dollar and cents Howie. And hopefully Joe Douglas, like we talked about a lot, has more control over what's being done football-wise. And Howie does have a little say to rub the ego and rub his little baby balls. But at the end of the day, it's Joe running the football with Doug Peterson. Two football guys should be shopping for groceries, and he should be just signing off. Let me keep us under the cap. Right?
Yeah.
Sign the checks. That's it. And it's gonna get there. Because Doug's a football guy too. You don't have to freaking like him. He's been around too much great talent not to be a football guy. So I'll crown him as a coach. I'm just saying.
I'll tell you what though, when I watched the press conference last week when the trade came down, I was actually pretty impressed with Howie. I mean, it's a pretty simple thing to go out there and announce you've traded one for another, but I like the way he addressed the situation in-house. He basically, he went to the coaching staff, told the coaching staff what was going to go down, went to Carson, told Carson what was going to go down. So you're building up your quarterback as the team leader, the guy who's got to be in the know. Then the trade gets announced. Carson already knows what's going down, so he can be the one who kind of acts as the parachute for his best friend and the rest of the team. And then he gets up there in front of the media and says, look, we had to give up quality to get quality. And yeah, having to include that third-round draft pick hurts a little bit, but Buffalo wasn't going to take on a guy with an expiring contract without having a little bit of insurance, and that draft pick was our insurance. He said, now, if Eric Rowe pans out in New England the way we think he can, then losing that draft pick doesn't hurt us quite as much. He said, but realistically, was that third-round draft pick going to be a contributor next year or the year after, more so than the man we picked or the man we traded for?
Yeah, that's how you have to look at it.
So Howie, I mean, I give him all the credit in the world on this one. It was a smart, shrewd deal. Now, if Howie had been privy to all the other stuff that Buffalo had going on at the same time, where they're moving Sammy Watkins out to L.A. and they're getting, I believe it was E.J. Biggers that they got back.
Yeah.
Then, if you know that they're getting E.J. Biggers back, maybe you try to sell them on a fourth or fifth rounder instead of a third rounder.
And I think when you
do what you can.
Well, when you look at the giving up the pick, I think we say it not only in football, I say it in all sports too, is that I'll give a pick or prospects for proven guys that have showed they can play
all
in the
day.
league.
Sure.
And Darby's a guy who showed he can play, and Matthews is coming up, and you have tons of wideouts right now.
Yeah.
So it's one of them things. He is expendable. You
know,
can make the move. It's not going to kill you.
Right.
Because in my opinion, Jordan Matthews in the slot is replaceable.
Yes.
Especially when you talk about a guy like Hollins, more speed, and a guy like Aguilar, more speed. Both guys, in my opinion, are faster. All right. And Aguilar is a definite better route runner.
Yes.
It's just, it's just the finish game. We know that.
And I don't know if Mac is ever going to come inside just because he's got that speed. He's got that over-the-top speed that, and the one thing that he never did at Carolina is he never ran a route. All he did
Everything
was go.
was just go.
Everything was go,
But I think that's what impressed me so much about him, seeing him at the Eagles live practice and then watching him in the game against Green Bay. Everything that he did was operate underneath, where he's catching crosses and making guys miss. And the touchdown, what was ridiculous, because he just basically stiff
grown
armed
man stuff.
Yeah, he stiff armed
grown
two
up.
guys and basically said, "Get the hell off me."
That's grown up.
I'm scoring.
Here we go. A couple things coming in. Michael DeAndrea. Everyone said our secondary was trash, so we got Darby. We upgraded in a lot of areas since last year, and we still don't get no love. Every time I turn on NFL Network, it's like Cowboy TV. What the fuck, man? LOL. Nah, just come here. Just come here and stop listening to them idiots. No Cowboy love right here.
Well, at least not from us three.
No, 7-9. 7-9. Pop Martinez.
Producer's still on it, though.
Pop Martinez, not a fan of Doug Peterson coaching methods, needs to clean up the mistakes late in games, which cost us games last year. Some people seem to forget we could easily have been 9-7 or 10-6. Hopefully he figures it out this season, especially with more talent. No question, and I think, and I said it before I went away, but I think it's two things. One, when you come in and you're trying to set a tone, and you know you're not a playoff team, and you got a rookie quarterback playing, you take some chances. And you try to set a tone that, hey, I got faith in my guys, especially when you're new, right? When you're new, you take more chances. Now, second year, you can eliminate some of them chances because you gained your locker room. You gain the respect from guys, and then you can build off of that. And I think he's a smart football guy. I really do. And I think when Carson gets better, and as Carson gets better, people around this city are going to be like, oh, man, Doug's a genius. I'm going to tell you. I'm looking right at you.
Oh, I know
I'm
you're
looking right at you.
I know you're looking
I'm
at me.
looking right here.
You're damn right
Right
you are.
here.
Well,
I'm not crowning him a genius. I'm saying Carson's going to make him look
And
like
that's
a
usually
genius.
what happens.
But he's a football guy, and that's what people need to realize. He's a football guy. Been
Right, but
around the
when-
game too long.
Too
many great players.
Right, but when you hear a guy interviewed like Chris Long, who's the son of a Hall of Famer, who's played for Hall of Fame coaches in the NFL, who comes right out and says, you give Doug 2 more years, he's going to be a really good coach, I'll buy into that. I have no problem buying into that at all.
Tyler, TK, Kenny, Darby was the most valuable piece in that trade. Proven players, greater than draft picks. We all agree there. Matthews was gone after the season anyway.
Correct.
Bravo, Howie.
Well,
And Bob Hartman said that Matthews was a throw-in, essentially, just to get the deal done.
Well,
It's
yeah.
possible.
I mean,
Let me ask you guys a question, though. When was the last time a corner out of Florida State was a bust in the NFL? Can you remember? Because I can't.
A corner?
A corner. I mean, Ronald Darby's a corner out of Florida State. Florida State is a cornerback factory. So, I mean, I'm pretty hard-pressed to go back and look at corners out of Florida State and figure out one that wasn't real good.
I'll take my shots. Florida State, LSU.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you can go around and name some teams, and I'll say, oh, talking about corners, when in doubt.
Yeah.
When in doubt. Go. I mean, I'm always like, when in doubt, go LSU. But right there, I mean, I'm going to start, LSU when I'm looking for safeties. I'm going to look at Bama a lot because I'm going to get guys who come lay the wood on you. Mm-hmm. I know that. And FSU definitely. I mean, listen, anywhere where Prime went. Anywhere where Prime went sets the tone.
And you know they can run. And that's what you touched on earlier. You know they can run.
Yeah, he's a track star.
At worst case, you know they can run.
Right.
Yeah. And Mark Principe again. We got a good team, good offense, good defense. Doug coaching hurting us. Agreed. That's it's a small sample size, though. I just think that with Doug, give him time like you're giving Carson time. Respect both of them like you respected Andy and Donovan. You let them grow together, allow these two to do, and I think we're going to get the result we were looking for. Okay? I think with this kid, we're going to get the result we were looking for. And I think everybody listening can agree on that point of it, that they'll buy into Carson. Buy into the other guy, man, because they're going to be tied at the goddamn hip. He's not going anywhere. He's a quarterback guy.
Choice.
He's a quarterback guy.
You have no
Come
choice.
on.
What? No, I'm just saying.
If you're around enough goddamn smart
but
people
I'm saying,
in sports,
he's
right?
gonna be here. He's going to be here.
Okay, yeah, I know
You got
he
to
is.
buy in.
I know he is. But if you're around enough smart people throughout the whole process, does it not rub off on you?
You would hope
When
it
you're
does.
not Hall of Fame coaches?
You would hope it does,
You
yeah.
played the game, too, though, at the highest level.
I mean, he did.
At the highest level, though, Greg. Yeah, I'm
but
not saying he played good.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
But he played.
Did Doug Peterson really play? I mean, he did.
But
You're
it all
right.
matters,
He
though.
was there.
It all matters when
Right,
you're
sure.
grooming a
Oh, I
puppy,
agree
a
with you.
baby.
Let me
to know how to do it.
Let me go back on a little revisionist history here, though, for a second, because everybody wants to pin this shit on Doug, and I get it. But
better than one.
Let's just say they finished 7-9 last year.
4th and 1, how could you?
That last Dallas game was a joke because Dallas didn't play anybody. So I'll even be kind and I'll give that one back, and I'll say 6-10. Okay, so how could they have moved from 6-10 to 9-7, 10-6? Easily. Ryan Matthews doesn't fumble at Detroit. There's one. Jordan Matthews runs the right pattern at New York when they're driving for the game-winning touchdown with less than a minute left in the game. There's 2.
Short memories, forget that one.
The big V, Vitae, doesn't absolutely shit himself in the Redskins game and basically act like a turnstile for the first quarter and a half.
Matt Tobin's cousin.
Exactly. I mean, I understand that there's coaching and there's personnel decisions and stuff like that, but there's also times when you can put your players in a position to win and they're not executing.
Nobody loves the people more than I do, right? But they look at 4th and 1s, and they base him being a good coach or not a good coach on gutsy calls. Okay, they don't look at the plays that work or rah, yeah, we scored or it worked. But you become a dope to people, or people think you're not a smart football guy because you go for it in situations where you could settle for 3. And that's where the perception comes that he doesn't know what he's talking about, when that perception's wrong.
Well, look,
it is, because you can't just look off of, like, if he gets them, then is he a genius?
Well, here you go, Tom.
Right?
Case in point. You look at the Baltimore game last year. So they score, and they're down 1 with, it was inside of 10 seconds left or something like that. He goes for 2 in the win. If he makes that, this entire city is dangling from his kuyans for the next week. Mm-hmm. But they don't get it, and all of a sudden he's a jackass and he should have kicked the extra point.
No, you're setting the tone.
When you've already seen your kicker struggle in wind and rain down in Baltimore that day. I mean, come on. You can't have it both ways. You really can't.
No, you can't, and that's what I've always said that. Like, if he gets it, he's a genius. If he doesn't, he's an idiot, and I don't buy into that one.
Sure.
And especially for a first-year guy, you got to give it time, and I'm willing to give him time, just like I'm going to give Carson. Obviously my leash is longer with Carson. I mean, that's a given. I feel like, but I feel like they're tied at the hip, and they should be, and that's where you're going to get the best results. If you change coordinators and change this and change that on a young guy, especially when Doug Peterson comes out and says the master of the West Coast offense, I think you got to play in it for 4 years. Just to master it, okay? So why would you even want to touch that or play that game with your franchise quarterback? And this is what people outside don't realize and don't think about. The second you draft that kid with Doug, they're tied.
Oh, yeah.
For guaranteed 4, in my eyes. That's a 4-year guarantee.
Oh, it's got to be.
4-year guarantee.
It has to be.
And if you ain't winning games after 4, then guess what? You didn't master shit.
Well, and here's the thing.
Or the shit being called in wasn't good enough.
If it's not 4, and the coaching decisions are so egregiously poor that you got to fire the head coach, well, then you got to fire the GM that hired him along with him.
Yeah, and guess what? I'm okay with how he handled my money, like we talked
so
about.
Am I.
Yeah. But no, I mean, they expect anything. The guy came in, to a bad locker room and a bad culture that Chip supposedly was making a good one. And try to set a tone in his first year. And that's how I look at it. So going in them situations, going for the 2 in Baltimore for the win, yeah, man, get a young football team. Say hello. Make them feel good about themselves, or at least show them that you have confidence in them to get it done the next time you do it. And especially with a pup behind a quarterback, you want to give him the confidence and put him in these tough situations that people that don't think about the game well enough don't realize. That's not a shot. That's just the way it is. Like, I'm going to look at it deeper. Like, mentally, what am I trying to get as a coach out of this kid? I'm trying to put him in spots so that it won't ever be his first time in a spot like this, right? Yeah. Get it out of the way early. Put him in tough spots. He doesn't get it? Good. Now he knows what he needs to do to get it done. And that's just coaching for a team that you knew wasn't a playoff team last year. And anybody who thought otherwise was just drinking Kool-Aid. Well, now this team is a playoff team.
Well, let's also not forget that Sam Bradford was our starting quarterback last year up until 8 days before the season started.
That was a conspiracy. We knew that.
Yeah.
But
Carson's hurt.
You're right, it was. But, at the same time, if the injury doesn't happen to Teddy Bridgewater in Minnesota, Carson's basically redshirted, whether we liked it or not. So you're already 1 year ahead of the curve.
House money.
Yeah.
And you want him to be 1 year ahead of the curve. You want him, like, I'm a believer, you draft the quarterback that early, he plays. It ain't Jared Goff. You don't sit him. No baby hands here. It's a grown man. Right? And you got quarterbacks all around them, former QBs, right, that are smart quarterback guys. So, listen, they're going to get more out of him. And he's in a great situation, Carson, and so is Doug and Frank Reich. Okay? They're all in good situations because they're surrounded with each other. And it's all the nucleus, which is Carson. And he's going to take a big step this year, and this is a playoff football team.
Here's
That's simple. Playoff football team. Hold on, real quick, before you read that. Rank your quarterbacks in this division going into this year. Don't you Giant fans go with the fishing rod deep back in the time, okay? Go with what you are projecting this year. I'll tell you who's one on my list.
All right, so wait, are we – give me the criteria, or are you just saying best to worst this year?
Clean slate going into this year. Who's your guy? Who's 1, 2, 3, and 4?
And you're talking how they perform this year or based on –
Not last year. You're just based on how you think they're going to perform this year. Don't worry about don't Giants me and Eli me with rings.
It's Wentz.
Wentz is one.
Because he's the only one that right now that has someone
it's Wentz,
any weapons.
It's Wentz, Cousins, Dak, and Eli.
Yeah.
And Cousins because he's playing for another contract.
Yeah, well, I
just don't know if Cousins has the weapons to overtake Dak or Eli. I think I go Carson, Eli.
Well, I know. I mean,
Dak.
I know we're going to get
just because the Zeke thing I think hurts Dak a lot.
That's what I was going to say. We're going to get to the suspension talk, but if Zeke's not suspended, then I go Carson, Dak, Cousins, Eli.
I'd be tough pressed to not put Dak at top, just because of the overall weapons. Just like Carson's got weapons, but if we're thinking objectively, I think it's a coin flip at the top between the two young pups. If Zeke's not suspended,
but you seen enough. You seen enough out of him to believe.
Yes, because I actually wanted Dak here. Go back, say we don't trade up for 2 for Carson, right? We stay at 7, and you take that.
You're being a realist. That's how you feel.
Dak was one of those guys I thought late, 3rd round, 4th round that you could take that could come in and not be this proficient and so quickly. But I thought he could be an NFL quarterback in this league. So, yeah, I do kind of like Dak a little bit more.
Hold on. Let's pump your goddamn brakes. You can't compare. Don't you do this. Carson's franchise.
Here we go, folks.
Carson's franchise.
Here we go.
Right? We can agree Carson's drafted franchise hat. He's your franchise, right?
Yeah.
Right? You just said you knew Dak was just going to be an NFL quarterback.
I thought.
And now we're coin flipping.
I thought he could.
So you think so you have him even better than just an NFL quarterback. You think he's special.
We're talking about this conference.
Yeah, but you think he's special.
I do.
Okay.
I do.
All right. No, that's fair.
But I'm saying I'm not taking him 2, though. Like, obviously you take Carson, too, because that's what we did. I'm saying you don't take Carson. You don't trade up.
No, I know what you're saying there. I'm just saying you're coin flipping him in your 1 and 2. And I think you're giving Dak way too much credit.
I don't even know who the hell you are.
As a pocket guy. I mean, you got to throw a little bit from the pocket. And he struggled big time in spots. It's easy when you're busting off 20-yard runs and you're playing in manageable situations and you're 3rd and 5 all goddamn day. But you get him in 3rd and longs, and I don't believe in the accuracy, and I don't believe in the footwork yet to be able to get it done in the pocket consistently. If you're not talking about a fly route or some of the things he does well.
Sure.
I think as a pocket guy, he needs a lot of work. There's no way I'm going to put him 2 in this division going into this year.
I don't disagree with you.
No, that's just my – I go 1, Carson, and I'm going –
Once you go Eli.
I'm going 2 Cousins because he's playing for a contract.
Yeah, but who's he going to throw? He's got no one to play with. Even Terrell Pryor's already come out and said, this is a bad football team. And when Terrell Pryor is saying it's a bad football team, it's a bad football team.
Consider this, fellas. Because you're talking right now, going into this season right now, think about the schedule. Think about how Dallas Cowboys are going to be facing all the teams that finished in first place last year. Think about the Redskins are thus, all the last place teams and what have you, what competition the Eagles will have at the spot they ended. That's going to have an effect on how you rank all 4, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I actually think I would, until he said that, I was going to go Eli 2 because of the weapons he has at his disposal. I went Eli 2. Just at his disposal. I think he's digressed, and that's why he's not 1.
See, here's my counterpoint to that, though. Their offensive line sucks.
Oh, I know.
They have no running game.
Why am I changing this? He turns the football over way goddamn too much.
I was going to say,
too much. Way too much.
You can have all the weapons in the world on the outside you want. If you throw 36 interceptions, they're not getting the ball in their hands.
It's Cousins, too. Because I think he has a pro skill set. There's things he can do really well. And forget the talent around him just as a quarterback.
You like that?
Yeah. I don't love that. That's the thing. Outside of Carson, I don't love any of them really anymore. I think Dak has a skill set that he can do some things, but it's not going to be. If they plan on throwing the ball 50 times a game with Dak, that's not the guy he is. That's all it is. It's not a knock on him. He's just not that guy. Yeah, that doesn't mean he can't become that guy. But right now, he's not the guy like Carson where you can say, go throw 50 times a game and get it done. And he's going to be able to develop more and more into that. I think Dak, that's going to take a lot of time to get into that kind of game with him.
Well, and
that's why Zeke hurts him for 6 games.
Right. This year will be the litmus test on him because there was never a point last year where the Cowboys had to look at Dak and say, "Go win us a game."
Go win a game.
I mean, he has.
Oh, screw you, Quink off.
He has the running game. He has the
Ben's in a bathroom right now with a young woman, and she doesn't want it.
Against the Steelers, right? But he still had Zeke.
Quinky said
he still got the receivers on the outside. I mean, I'm just saying, single-handedly, go out there and win us a game. Drive down the field with 40 seconds left and put it in the end zone. And oh, by the way, your number one running back's on the sideline because he can't pass block.
Hold on. I'm sorry, guys. Even Molina says, "Is this a Philly talk show?" Yeah.
It is.
We're Philly, and he says you need a Kobe jersey next to the Jordan. You got one? Put one right up for it.
We'll put it up.
And then Quinky said Eagles suck, and I said, well, Ben's probably in a bathroom with a young female, and she doesn't want it. She might want it right now, but afterwards she's going to say she didn't want it.
Ben, who threw Martavis Bryant under the bus 3 weeks ago, but now that he's back, they're like, peanut butter and jelly. That's my guy.
Tyler Kenny says he liked Prescott pre-draft, but nowhere near Wentz.
I think we're all saying the same thing. I mean, none of us have an issue with Dak as quarterback at all. Just don't think he's a franchise guy yet. And I think, obviously, Carson is, Cousins is. Eli never was, and now he's on the downside. Eli was a real good quarterback for a number of years. Was never great. Yeah, he's got a couple of Super Bowls. None of them fully on him. That just pisses me off with Giants fans.
He's the better Manning, though.
Stop it. Stop it.
Yeah. Yep. I hate to say it, but yep. He is.
Why? Because he's what, 2-0 in the Super Bowl?
Essentially, yeah.
Well, he was until Peyton got the one finally. That sort of just gave him. They said, okay, you're now better than your brother. But for a minute, Eli was better.
Stop
it! Peyton came out so small in every big game he ever was in.
All right.
Brady put it to him every time they saw it.
It's a fair point, but Peyton Manning's one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL.
No, he's not.
Numbers-wise, you could say that. But
that's what I mean, numbers-wise.
But at the end of the day, he never could get past the GOAT, and Eli got past the GOAT not once, but twice.
Well,
the guy he couldn't get past.
His defense got past the GOAT once.
No, I agree. It was the front four who won the games for him, but he still gets to put on the jewelry.
Talking about the Giants, though, sticking with that point, with Eli being a turnover machine, I also think their defense, for as good as they were last year, they overachieved. They're coming back down to earth this year.
Yeah, to a point. They're still tough. And they got good corners. They got good they got good.
And you still don't want to go
safeties.
Across the middle.
No, I ain't going
Landon
across the middle.
Collins will lay you out.
and we hate the Giants. So this is Philly sports, but you got to keep it real.
Yep.
Their defense. Listen, their defense is one right now, but I think we have the capabilities of being there with them if things work out the way we hope they can.
Which is what we've always said.
Yeah, we have the capabilities.
Oh, here's a couple of interesting comments on the YouTube.
Yeah, we got tons on the book, too, so go ahead.
One from Philly Sports. Article came out a couple days ago that Philly would have hired Ben McAdoo if he didn't get hired as the Giants coach. How would this have changed the NFC East if it happened?
Thank God they did.
I think it changes the entire dynamic because the Eagles.
McAdoo's a dope.
Well, but the Eagles probably don't trade up to draft Wentz. They don't go for a quarterback. They probably go for a stud running back or a wide receiver and continue to take their chances with Sam Bradford.
He definitely sticks with Bradford. There's no doubt about it.
So I think it changes the entire complexion of the division. Now, where it goes, obviously it didn't happen, so we can't make that assessment. But yeah, it's you're talking, you're not talking apples and oranges. You're talking like apples and kiwi.
Well,
it's an entirely different discussion.
Michael DeAndre says the Giants ranked 30th in points scored last year. They got another head case in Marshall. Still have no running game, and O-line stinks. Not scared of them at all, and that was your point about their O-line. But Marshall was a point that we left out. All talent in the world. Brandon Marshall older now, but still really talented. But
if he doesn't get his,
the head,
yeah.
And that's 2 guys now. And don't anybody out there that's drinking Giants Kool-Aid, because I see you, Sean Spielman, okay? Don't any of you guys tell me it doesn't matter to the quarterback when you have guys on the outside that not only demand the football, but command it, screen for it, kick nets, do all kinds of crazy shit when they don't get the football or things don't get right. Don't think that doesn't affect the quarterback. Eli's gotten worse with Odell. He hasn't got better. He's not gotten better. Eli's gotten worse because now you're automatically got to look there. You always got to go. It's in your head as a quarterback. These guys aren't. This isn't. You're not playing PlayStation. You know what I mean? You're not playing Madden where you're just hitting the A every time. You know what I mean? It's different.
But here's the thing.
There is a thought process to it.
Between Odell, Shepard, Marshall, the rookie tight end that they drafted.
They got talent.
I mean, they have a ton of talent, but there's not enough footballs to go around. There really isn't.
No.
Because every one of these guys in their head thinks they're a number one. At least here, you know that Alshon is the clear-cut number one. And then from there, wide receiver targets will diminish as you get deeper on the depth chart.
And the West Coast offense, I mean, they run
they spread it around.
They run
a little differently.
McAdoo runs a form of it, but not to the same level as
right.
Peterson.
But you,
West Coast, you spread it a little more.
And you know, red zone, Zach Ertz is going to be your target as the tight end, but they'll spread it around. I mean, it's a different pecking order. And when you don't have a pecking order, so to speak, when you got 4 guys, maybe 5 guys up there that are just constantly screaming for the ball, there's going to be a lot of infighting up there. I mean, this season has the potential to implode on them.
Oh, I think it does. And I think it does. I think it could in Dallas as well. Don't be surprised. I think you could have 2 implosions because that hurts your football team big time.
Here's another one from AC Kid 50. Can Dak win a game in the fourth quarter with Elliott out? He was a 5th-round pick for a reason. Eli can, debatable. Cousins has. Wentz can carry a team on his back. Just look at last year.
No. I don't hate anything he said.
Yeah.
I think he's pretty right on.
And then Philly Sports came back again. Also, Byron Maxwell said the Birds messed up by trading him. What do you think? Did we mess up or make the right decision?
Who said Jordan Matthews?
No, Byron Maxwell.
Who? Is he still talking?
Who?
Yeah, I heard.
So he went to Miami and he had a decent year in an entirely different system. Well, he doesn't fit the system.
But there's Kiko down there too.
Yeah.
So it looks different. I take Kiko back before I take Byron Maxwell back.
I 100% agree with that.
Just because of the nature of the position, and I think coming off the ACL, everyone had this high hope for Kiko in year 1. Everyone knows year 2 is the ACL. Right. You know what I mean? You're fully back.
Right. So the 3 of us are all in agreement, though, that the Birds are a better team with Darby than they were with Jordan Matthews.
No doubt.
Rob, from a Cowboys fan perspective, what are your thoughts?
Wasn't listening. Sorry. So repeat.
Question the poll question: Are the Eagles a better team from a Cowboys fan perspective, looking in? Are they a better team with Ronald Darby at corner than they were with Jordan Matthews at wide receiver?
Oh, a far better team.
Okay.
A far better team because you look around the secondaries in this division and there's not some of the stronger secondaries in the NFL. Eagles put themselves in a good position to take the lead in that category, and then you guys are also, sitting on Sidney Jones as well to be actually almost an elite secondary to go with your front 7 for a guy that just drops passes. And really, you weren't going to – I think you said this earlier in the show. You weren't going to re-sign for next season anyhow.
You actually make a great point there because I almost have to wonder – I mean, does Ronald Darby – I mean, is he automatically a top 2 corner in the division?
I think so. I've seen this kid play. And, I mean, not
here he is.
Last season.
Here he is. Here's the Roach. Spielman. Here he is. Now, like Wilson says to Rob, like, you're not friends until after the Super Bowl. Right? That's what Wilson said to you guys. Sean, love you to death.
Much.
Love Rob to death. Agreed with that sentiment. It's football season. It's football season. We all don't like each other. He goes, oh my God. What's he saying? Oh my God, after Cheeks, does it say you spread the Eagles and hump them? Eli Manning won 2 Super Bowls. Marshall is a big wide receiver Eli needed. Barris and Shepard second year.
Blah, 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 blah.
Go Giants offense stunk second half of the year, won 11 games. They have a fucking defense. What you need to win the NFL. Oh, by the way, what up, Arnone? How was Vegas? We're back. Freaking phenomenal. We'll talk about it in a little bit. But no, he should take that. He should. You know what I mean? We all listen. It's what it's about. You won't go in and you want to believe a little bit more about certain areas of your football team.
Yeah, well, you know,
Just like I have the Eagles of the playoff team.
this is the time of year when you want to be on your team's bandwagon 100%. So I get it. Just need to be a little realistic.
Bob, we're equal opportunity here, okay? Bob Hartman. He said, well, hold on. So the voice behind the Cowboys fan.
Hey, he's the best producer money can buy.
So listen, it's what, 5 months? And after that, it's kumbaya guy. That's all it is. It's a layoff.
What are we supposed to sit around the TV holding fucking hands? No.
No, we're supposed to argue about it, exactly what we're doing.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I get Wilson's point. I get Spellman's point there, too.
Tower Kenny, Spielman, are you familiar with the term Eli face?
He wins.
Oh,
That's great.
Nice.
Hartman says, nah, fuck that.
Oh, classic.
Well, we don't talk. I mean, we don't get into it, Eagles, Cowboys, like, well, you and Wilson will, but I mean, we don't really get into Eagles, Cowboys, right? Unless we're talking like NFL, really. We don't like get it. You know what I mean? Like on the show, go like yelling and screaming Eagles, Cowboys wise.
That's
Like we haven't. You know what I mean?
But I'll tell you what, though, it's why we're the best in the business, because we keep our own house nice and clean. We don't need to go trash somebody else's house to get our point across.
Yeah.
And there's
Well,
a difference between educated fans and ignorant cockroaches, and I don't fall in that category.
Correct.
So go fuck yourself, people that are busting
Yeah,
my balls.
he wants to see. He said, "Well, from now on, you got to see his face on camera every time he talks." You know, like walking around
What are we supposed to do? Put a fisheye cam on top of his on top of his
sorry
board?
for the foul language.
Spielman goes, Tower, are you familiar with the QB holding a Super Bowl trophy face? Exactly. That's the Eli face I know. Jesus. Oh, you gotta love it. Oh, all right.
I can't argue with that.
Nope. No, I can't. Much as I want to.
Although
Well said, sir.
Although I still want to see
Still hate you for 6 months.
I still want to see the side of David Tyree's helmet, because I'm convinced there's like a half-inch of stickum on there.
Yeah, some Jerry Rice stick 'em on that bitch. But I told a guy the other day, he's like, oh, Jerry Rice cheated. You stick 'em all the time. I said, have you fed an NFL glove nowadays?
Yeah.
Have you put one on, Daddy? Because I'm going to catch 40.
They're made to stick them.
I don't know how guy drop balls.
And that's why Odell's making these sick catches in practice, but then has drops in games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. They ask him, do you try to catch it one-handed practice? What the hell do you think he's going to say?
I hear Philly sports. Eagles are a much better team. Remember, Ronald Darby played against the NFC East wide receivers a year ago and locked them up. Okay. And Eric R. says, Maxwell is nuts. And didn't he net us Wentz? Enough said. Kinda. In a way. Roundabout way, but yeah. It was a trade to get to Wentz.
Right.
So, yeah, we hear you.
6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
That's great.
Sorry.
It's all right.
And Spielman goes, Odell couldn't catch crabs from a Camden hooker versus Packers in playoffs. I agree.
And that's not real hard to do.
No, that's just real talk. I mean, this is what it is. I mean, I don't think I surround myself with any fans, like, outside of Philly that aren't realists, though, too. You know what I mean? Like, I think everybody tries to surround myself. Like, Tony Delgado's not a realist at all. He's on his knees for Eli. He's probably the best in the league.
Yeah.
Tony.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take my shot because he's not listening right now. And then when he does come to listen.
Oh, he doesn't. No, he's not listening.
He's not listening. Sean Mack, I got to tag him. And the Eagles do own the Giants to Michael DeAndrea. That's what he just said. Yep. All right, so what do we got? What do we got next? Zeke real quick. Talk about suspension,
we'll
how it's going to hurt him.
Do Zeke real quick, and then we'll hit our first break. Absolutely.
All right. Well, I mean, I was away. Your initial reactions. I mean, I wasn't surprised by it. I mean, too many player conduct issues, and at some point you're gonna get at least you're gonna put your foot down as a league. I mean, like, he's been in the league 1 year. I mean, it's already 3 different occasions where it's things with player conduct. So you're going to get something. Now, I'm not the one to judge if 6 is too many or not, because it's going to appeal, and I'm sure it'll be a game or two maybe cut off.
Yeah.
Well,
so
I think they went 6 specifically for that reason. I think what they're saying is this kid needs to sit for 4 games. So we're going to give him 6, knowing that he's going to appeal. We'll reduce it to 4, cost him a quarter of the season. But there's a message here. And the message here is to these kids that are coming into the NFL that think that when they get into the league, they're basically untouchable, especially if they're a superstar. After all the shit that's gone down in the league over the last 4, 5, 6 years, it's not happening anymore.
It's a wake-up call.
I mean,
I completely agree with that.
And it's funny because as an Eagles fan, I love to see the fact that the Cowboys aren't going to have their number one running back for a quarter of the season. But as a sports fan and a football fan, and in general as a whole, I actually feel bad for the Cowboys fans a little bit because they're making an example of the kid. Whereas if he was a third or fourth year guy, or if this same situation happened 3 years ago, he's getting 4 and they're knocking it down to 2.
Yeah, I think they definitely went after a statement here. I was initially shocked at the length. When it first came out, I heard 6. I'm like, oh, what do they have on?
What do they have on him?
That's a whole lot of games.
I think they have stuff on him. Obviously, it's not. This isn't. Like I said, it's not a witch hunt.
That's crazy. But Mike, I think you're right. The appeal. And you touched on it too. The appeal is going to knock it down a game or two to where it's back in line with what their normal, protocol is for a suspension. The interesting part to me is what the NFL threw out today through their PR guy, basically yelling at people to stop shaming the girl. Like they're attacking the girl, trying to shame her for trying to put this on Ezekiel. And that's so from the league to say that means that they had something on them. That it's legit.
Apparently, the league now has these guys that have worked for the FBI and the CIA, and in the players' contracts, they actually have verbiage in the contract that says the league can go after your cell phone records, they can pull your text messages. Anything that could possibly hit them for code of conduct, the league has every right to go after this stuff. But apparently, not only do they go after the players' phones and stuff like that, they've got text message trails from the girl and talking to her friends about the situation and what really happened and could they actually get money out of it and what should they do and all this crazy shit. I mean, it's wild. It really is.
No, it is. It's like I said, they have a lot. They must have a lot on him through that situation with her. But the other things that have happened, I mean, it wasn't just that. Okay, there was that. There was, you can make light of it, but it was, pulling up a girl's shirt on a stage. I mean, young kid stuff, right? Yeah. I mean, that's something that you say, to, really. But then you put it in with, already something with an ex-girlfriend. And now this is something else against women. And then there's an altercation at a club. Yeah. Okay, and you put all these things in a year, and you say to yourself as a league, well, if we don't make a statement of them and show them, this can continue and get worse, which isn't going to help his career at all. So if you can get a wake-up call early on in the guy's career and wake him up a little bit, maybe that can, extend his playing career longer without him getting in more trouble. And I think that's part of it too. And the other part is to show young players, I don't care if you come in and rush for 1,600 yards or what you do. Right, you're gonna be a good role model citizen in the league. You know what I mean? You're not gonna you're not gonna have player conduct issues like he's had, and that's just the way it is. And I understand, as a Cowboys fan, you shouldn't like it, but he did what he did.
Yeah.
And whatever the league has on him, they're not going to suspend the guy 6 games for stuff with an ex-girlfriend. Most of it, if they didn't have the Mike's point, phone call records, different things that have gone on. Right, and her statement as well.
Yeah.
Just because she didn't go through with it doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Well, here's the
and that's the big part of it.
Here's that statement. It's a statement from Joe Lockhart, the NFL Executive Vice President of Communications. Over the past few days, we've received multiple reports of the NFLPA spreading derogatory information to the media about the victim in the Ezekiel Elliott discipline case. It is common tactic to attempt to prove innocence of accused by discrediting the victim, in this case, Ms. Thompson. When coming forward to such abuse, decrediting the victim when coming forward to such abuse. Common or not, these tactics are shameful. Efforts to shame and blame victims are often what prevent people from coming forward to report violence and or seek help in the first place. That's straight from the NFL.
Look, after the clusterfuck that was the Ray Rice situation, anything now is just going to be completely magnified. It really is. I mean, Ray Rice, Greg Hardy, there's more names that you could go through. It's anything. And here's the thing. I think what they did with this is they didn't limit it to just a domestic situation, because then it would have been, 4 games, because the precedent was set way back when. So they go code of conduct, and within the code of conduct, they want to also point to domestic. So they're kind of rolling it up to be able to make their argument.
Yeah, they're rolling it all up in one and saying, boom, here you go. And that's why Bob Hartman says,
get your
all
shit
the
together.
things that we were saying, that's why it doesn't get reduced in his opinion. And I can see that. I can see that too.
Yeah.
But
they always get reduced.
And it's interesting, the code of conduct, which you've mentioned, because of code of conduct, you don't need a guilty. You don't need to go through. They can just do it on what they see, whether it goes through a court or not. They can do it on what.
But in this case, they spent time researching.
Well, that's to Mike's point, that now they have all these guys on payroll to do that.
Well, and Sean Spielman's saying that he was raised in the way you don't put your hands on females ever, and that's the way I was raised. So I have zero time for it. I don't care if it's a guy on the Eagles. I don't want no parts of them guys.
Yeah.
All right. I understand football's a tough sport. It's a tough sport on the field. Okay. Doesn't mean you go home and beat up your girl
no
or
doubt.
get physical or at all. I mean, you got to turn it off. And I can tell you, it could be a star player for the Eagles. See ya. I'm never going to respect you again.
Yeah.
I can root, cheer when you score because whoop-de-doo, we scored. But, I'm not going to go buy your jersey or cheer you on after that like that.
NFL intelligence is better than the Russian mafia. That's just how it is. It's just how it is. They're no joke.
Michael DeAndre says he's appealing it, so who knows what happens. Well,
we do.
I think
6-4. It'll go 6-4.
The 29th. I think the appeal date's the 29th, which I believe is like just about a week and a half before the season.
Right.
Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, no fan's gonna like it, but nor should they, really. But you got to understand, it's too much in a little time span for a rookie, and you can't hold him being a star above one, the law, and one, just how you treat women. You know what I mean? I think there's signs of disrespect when it comes to women. Girl wants you to lift the shirt up or not. I mean, whatever, dude. You're an NFL player now. You got to live a certain way. You got to, you're a professional. They want to be called professional and talk about it's a business and this, that, and the third. But when guys get slapped on the wrist, all of a sudden it ain't a goddamn business no more, right? It's all business when guys leave for more goddamn money. But it ain't a business when you get smacked a little bit for doing shit that no man should ever do.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, look,
now it's not a business. No, coming at me.
You know firsthand that in the past there's been some questionable behavior out of the guys in Dallas, but it was usually limited to the back room at a nightclub, and
it's cocaine and strippers. I mean, Christ, you're NFL players. We can live with that. Yeah. All right. They weren't smacking them around.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
I'm agreeing with you. Yeah, that's your point.
You do your blow. You look at some tits. You keep your hands to yourself, and everybody's happy.
Well, you get handsy because they're going to want you to, and they're going to tell you to get handsy and hands and touchy. You know what I mean? You're a stripper. You're spending a lot of money. That's a different story. What happens in that green room?
Yeah.
But these guys are, they brought in a guy like Greg Hardy when nobody in the league should touch a guy like that. That guy should never get a chance again. Mm-hmm. The stuff he did. So it is a tone setter, and somebody's going to be the first one to really get slapped with it. And I think a lot of it is Ray Rice, and I think a lot of it is just the rate of domestic violence with NFL players, and they have to end it before it gets worse.
Let me ask all you guys though, because you just hit on an interesting point. Going back to the Greg Hardy situation, do you think a part of this is actually a shot at Jerry? I mean, kind of telling Jerry like, you keep your players under control. You bring guys in that are of a little higher character, or else we're going to take your toys away. Because, like you just said, I mean, he brought in Greg Hardy, and finally now all of the uproar over the Hardy situation seems to have gone away, and now there's Zeke. And these things happen in other NFL cities, but when you're the Dallas Cowboys and the quote-unquote America's team microscope is on you, you can't have that. And then for Jerry to come out and make ridiculous statements that he's standing by his players' innocence, well, that's just asinine. If you want to make a statement that says, we're here to support Ezekiel, we're going to help him get everything straightened out, he's a fine young man who, has had some lapses in judgment, and we're going to work with him on that. So you're admitting that something happened, but you're really not admitting guilt. That's fine. But to just come out and say he's completely innocent and that the whole thing is going to get overblown, well, that's just Jerry in defense mode backpedaling.
Yeah, it's Jerry thinking he's bigger in the league than he is.
And how much money's he got to pay her?
Yeah.
I mean, he already made one situation go away. I don't think he's going to make this one go away.
And Sean Spielman said he's going to dread the opener because all Collinsworth and Michaels are going to talk about is Zeke the whole time. And he said, only be fair, they should bring up Josh Brown, too. Both are pieces of shit.
Yeah.
So.
Rob made a great point about that on the on social media earlier in the week about Josh Brown basically admitting, what he had done and just, the punishment is nothing compared to Zeke. And I think Josh Brown should have been punished way more severely than he was.
No question. Piece of shit. The only thing I can wrap my head around with the league decision with that was a guy who there isn't – listen, I don't agree with it, okay? But a guy who showed remorse and a guy who admitted to it and a guy who's trying to do things to not ever let it happen again is the only way I can wrap my head around why the league was soft and big time soft on the punishment.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only reason, and because he's a kicker, nobody gives a rat's ass. That's the only reason. And Zeke's going to get hurt because he's a star in this league.
Sure.
Well, another reason you said earlier was that this was a message.
Yep.
This was a message to the league to try to nip this in the bud with a young player, because one thing you guys hadn't talked about as part of this code of conduct was he was pulled over going 100 miles an hour. What if this guy kills himself? I mean, think about how that mars the whole league and the shield. So I see it from both perspectives. I think the NFL handled it very poorly, but I do dig the message. Nip it in the bud while it's a respect for conduct problem before it becomes a OJ problem.
Yeah, and agreed. Yeah. But you know what I do like what the NFL did, though? They took their time. They could have did this last year. They could have rushed and gave a 6-game suspension last year and not have all the facts. They really did their time, did their due diligence. They hand out a fair punishment here, if any, and whatever they accomplished over the year had to be enough for 6. And with what you said, speeding,
the party.
He didn't
stop.
Throwing your hands, whatever. If somebody comes at you, you got to learn that at a young age. Like you said, you don't be Ray Lewis at a nightclub having to stab somebody and commit murder. You know what I mean? You don't want to be that guy. So if you keep this up, you're Pac-Man Jones. You're these guys.
You got to go. You got to go Nuke LaLoosh style and learn to punch with the left hand.
You scare them straight is what you do, because maybe they're fully prepared to maybe even knock it below 4 games. You know what I mean? That it was like you get that shock value, and it's going to be a process, and this could get very ugly. This could get very drawn out too, because certainly as shit, he's lawyering up, and he doesn't like what the appeal hearing has to say. But forgetting all that, just the shock value, getting the 6 games, you still sit out a couple games, you feel it in the wallet. I know me personally, I'm going to try to clean up my act.
Yeah, I think any reasonable person would, right?
Well, and then you have to look at the trickle-down effect on this, not just the NFL, but now into college. I mean, if you're a junior or a senior in college and you're projected to be a high-round draft pick and you got skeletons in your closet, you're scared shitless now.
Oh, yeah, you're not going to get in trouble.
You don't want that to come out the summer after your rookie year, that you did something as a freshman that was completely asinine, and now you're going to be suspended in the NFL for it.
Yeah, but
and now you see colleges now that are laying suspensions out there on guys just to try to, one, you got to keep the program clean because you got the NCAA sanctions, but it's, long term, it's a lot of these guys in college now, it's like the NFL minor leagues. You got to get them. You got to get their shit straightened now, or else they're screwed down the road.
Everything's a test, though.
It's just like the typical NFL.
Real quick, Sean Spielman later, brother. He says he's going to bed. Got UPS in the morning. Great first half show, boys.
But Joe Mixon got drafted. He had big skeletons in his closet.
He did.
And he got drafted, and he's an NFL running back now.
Where did he get drafted?
Well, he got drafted by the Hood or the convicts in Cincinnati.
Where did he get drafted?
2nd round.
Okay. Well, should he not have been a top 5 based on talent?
But still, 2nd round, still good.
Okay.
He's still getting money to do a job that the best running back in the game, or one of the best in the game, is now suspended for.
And if the Bengals, if the Bengals didn't draft him,
he probably drops. Yeah,
he probably goes back around to the Bengals again in round 3 or 4.
But it's still
But he already dealt his punishment at the NCAA, though.
Yeah, but now you're saying, okay, you dealt your punishment. Now you can come back. Where's Ray Rice at? You know what I mean? Ray Rice did his time.
Yeah, but once it's on,
you know what I'm saying, though.
The difference with Ray though is it was visual.
No, so was Joe Mixon.
Okay, yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
but
Yeah, okay, yeah, it was.
I think Ray's was a lot. I don't want to say a lot worse, but
Yeah, but at least Ray's
I think the visual on Ray's was worse than
correct.
Nixon's.
But Ray has taken steps, just like Mike Vick did,
Agreed.
to make up and show the remorse for what he did.
Listen, though, at the end of the day, none of these guys should be in the effing league. It's that
Well,
simple.
that's
okay.
my point.
You're right.
Okay, at the end of the day, I got no time for none of it. See. I hate Joe Mixon. I didn't want him. Some scumbag sat on this show and praised the son of a bitch for 6 months at freaking nauseum because of his goddamn talent, and it wasn't you.
That's why he's not on the show anymore.
And wants to crown a guy. Oh, he's got talent. I draft him. I don't want no parts of that kind of dude. All right, just like I gave Vic his chance. He served time, hard time. And it was dog fighting, which I don't condone at all, having 2 pit bulls. But at the end of the day, that's just Southern living a little bit. Okay? Yeah. And did he have his hands really dirty in it? Nobody knows. But he did his time. Okay? With a guy like Joe Mixon, he didn't do no freaking time.
No.
He didn't show remorse from it. He was throwing fake punches on the sideline after he scored that first touchdown back. And don't act like we didn't see that video, because that was clear as day. And then people rushed to defend the guy. Defending a white beater. A woman beater, people rush to defend. Oh, it's just messing around. That's not what he meant. They're throwing fake punches at him. It's exactly what it meant.
Well, and all right, and staying same theme. Why do we think Adrian Peterson was a free agent for as long as he was? I mean, certainly the health had a little something to do with it, but you don't want the the guy with his switch suddenly showing up in your backfield, and then your coaching staff has to field all the questions about, how's his family situation and is all that resolved, and are you worried that there's going to be any legal issues, stuff like that. I mean, this same situation you talked about with Kaepernick is at some point you have to take a look at the skill of the player and say, okay, fine, he's a good player, but is the circus worth it? What does the circus do to your team?
Yeah, for a guy who's essentially your backup, who shouldn't be getting all the face time when you're trying to, when it comes to the media, and he would. Real quick, and then we'll take a break. So overall, Michael DeAndrew says, honestly, where do you see this team at the end of the season in terms of the Eagles?
I'm talking to Birds.
Yeah.
I'm staying exactly where I was a couple weeks ago. I'm 10-6. Wild card, lose to Tampa Bay.
I'm saying, you know what I mean? Here's the reality. I have them at 8-8, but what's fun going 8-8?
There is none.
There is no fun going 8-8. So I took it down, and I'm still just under, just under 500.
All right, I got him. I waited between 10-6 and 11-5, but I'm gonna bank on Carson. I'm gonna go 11-5. I'm gonna go.
That'll be 13-3 next week.
I
know you.
Because he's gonna play a whole quarter tomorrow.
But he'll look good.
Oh, I know.
Oh, my God. All right. Bob Hartman, Vic did his time, but not only that, he came back as a third-string quarterback before he became the guy again. So really did his time NFL-wise, too.
Sure.
Of reworking himself back out, and changing his image. And he did a great job of that. Mm-hmm. So, not giving credit to what the guy did, but credit to after the fact, you changed who you were.
You bounced back.
Became a better guy.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll take a break. On the other side, we will get into some Phil's talk. We'll talk about a little trip to Vegas real quick and your little road tour throughout all the minor league stadiums in the goddamn country. All that, much more, answering your questions as well. Tom.
Mike.
AM.
In the PM.
Thank you for our segment sponsors and show sponsors, Gibson Mayer LLC. Find them on the web, gibsonmayer.com. Soapstash LLC. Find them on the web, soapstash.com. And BMW Atlantic City. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the worldwide leader of Real Talk, A2DRadio.com.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard.
Get your skills in shape, then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by The Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, is brought to you by Gibson Mayer, LLC, Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Mike from Tom and Mike AM in the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer, LLC, Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's www.gibsonmayer.com.
You're listening to Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, on A2DRadio.com.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard.
your skills in shape, then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by the Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
Tom and Mike, AM and the PM, is brought to you by Gibson Mayer, LLC, Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Mike from Tom and Mike AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer, LLC, Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's www.gibsonmayer.com.
You're listening to Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, here on A2DRadio.com.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard.
Get your skills in shape, then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by the Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, is brought to you by Gibson Mayer, LLC, Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Mike from Tom and Mike AM in the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer, LLC, Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's www.gibsonmayer.com.
Tom Arnone, Big Mikey Smalls, Tom, Mike, AM, in the PM, only on A2DRadio.com.
You're listening to the worldwide leader of Real Talk, A2DRadio.com.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard.
Get your skills in shape, then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by the Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, is brought to you by Gibson Mayer, LLC, certified public accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Mike from Tom and Mike AM in the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer, LLC, certified public accountants. 215-369-3300. Or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's www.gibsonmayer.com.
We're back. Tom,
Mike,
AM,
in the PM.
HEDRadio.com, live from the BMW of Atlantic City studios. BMW, right off exit 17 of the Parkway. Find them online, BMW of AtlanticCity.com. Tom Arnone, Michael Mataraki, Greg Moakovic, Rob Povey on the ones and twos. Every Wednesday night we're brought to you by our certified public accountant. Make them yours. Find them on the web, Gibson Mayer. GibsonMayer.com is where you can find them. Facebook, Gibson Mayer LLC. Sorry.
Good stuff.
I was still thinking Vegas in my head as we were talking about on the break. I saw Vegas going. I was still in Vegas mode for a minute. Like I said, I've been still West Coast time since I got back. This is early for me still. I'm still cruising.
We're just getting ready to we're just getting ready to start it up.
It's a shank of the evening.
We're just getting ready to start it up. It's a little dinner time. Get the carbo load in for the night, and then we're rolling.
Buffets were amazing.
Oh yeah, they always are.
Hello. Listen, if you're just joining us, our poll question brought to you by Scanzano Sports. Find them on the web, scanzanosports.com. Are the Eagles a better team now with Ronald Darby at corner than they were with Jordan Matthews at wide receiver? Yes. No.
Yep.
Too early to tell. Yes, no. You know it. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. HED Radio is where you can find us. We'll answer your questions. Woo, we were long first round.
Yeah, it was a good run.
First round. Yeah, it
was a good run.
Felt good.
Real good run.
Felt good. But we all agreed that it is a better football team now.
Yes.
With the addition
Absolutely.
of Ronald Darby. And he brings more to the football team in a position that's a big-time need.
A bigger need.
Yeah.
And we talked about Patrick Robinson ain't going to get it done as one of your starters out there. And you need to be at least deeper at that position. And Darby gives you a guy who's at least, coming on this team, a one, essentially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm not saying he's
At
one.
least until Sidney Jones is
Jones
100% healthy,
and
yeah.
Let's see Jalen another year. It's important to see Jalen another year. But I think it was important not to put that kind of pressure on a kid who was a 6th-round pick, granted, 7th-round pick, whatever. It was picked that late because of off-the-field stuff. All right, but it's still hard to put that kind of pressure on a kid in that draft slot. To be expected to be your one going into the year without some legitimate help around him.
Sure.
So, good deal, Howie. Good deal, Howie. I have no issue with the deal. I like it.
Absolutely.
I like it.
Agreed.
We also, so it was heavy that. We talked a little Zeke. All right, now we're going to switch modes, getting a little Phil's talk. But if anybody chimes in Eagles related, we'll answer it and bounce back and forth. So, Hoskins called up.
Well, it was interesting because while you were gone, I was doing my little minor league tour. And the one day on the minor league tour, we caught Reading at 9:35 a.m., and had made the 30-mile drive from Reading up to Allentown and caught the Iron Pigs at 7:05. And as we're walking into the stadium, there's all kinds of like news crews out front and stuff like that, and like, the hell's going on here? Like, why is there like Channel 3, Channel 6 news up here at the Lehigh Valley game? Like, what happened? So you walk in and you see the lineup posted, and you see Rhys Hoskins in left field. You're like, uh-oh, call-up's imminent. if this kid can handle left field for a week, he's getting called up. So I was all about it. And sure enough, they played him 3 games in left field down there and made the call.
Yeah,
it's the right call.
Absolutely.
It's the right call.
You have to bring him up.
You do. And it was just unfortunate you couldn't even get a bag of chips for Tommy Joseph, the deadline. And you can still go here in the month of August and of course, the all-season. But because I think we're doing a disservice to the kid by putting him in left field. But,
I completely agree.
But we had to bring him up.
Yeah.
Yep.
You
had to bring the bat side of it up.
Yes.
But, I mean, you mentioned it the other night, and I saw, and I completely agree, is that the kid is going to hit better when he's at first base.
Yeah.
He's got nothing to think about.
Yeah.
That's his
Yeah,
position,
it is absolutely not fair to him to turn him into a left
really
field.
thought he was going to get that first hit, or especially that first home run, that first start at first base, when he could take a breath. We could take a deep breath and say, I'm home.
With all due respect, that means I can say whatever the hell I want. Who the fuck is Tommy Joseph to be commanding time over prospects? Like, who's Tommy Joseph to turn guys into left fielders or right fielders when your whole farm system, at least your last 2 first-round picks, are outfielders? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to do? Load up a spot? Like, why are we trying to send more guys out somewhere where we have too much right now, essentially? Right? And then do it not only to the kid mentally, but to the whole organization.
Well, I know what their logic is. Their logic is if they can't trade Tommy Joseph if he's on the bench or on the farm. And I get that, but I think it's bullshit because you're not trading him anyway. You can't. If you haven't been able to get a sniff on him to this point, I would have sent him down because he's got options left. I would have said, look, kid, nothing personal. We're going to send you down so you keep getting your at-bats. We want to take a look at this kid, and then next year come spring training, you need to show up and step up.
But, you said it early in the show, and you both say you'd rather take a proven commodity over, a prospect, right, or a pick. And I'm not agreeing with that Tommy Joseph should still be here, But he's here. He hasn't gone away. He hasn't been traded. But he's proven he can hit at the major league level.
Yeah.
That 245 batting average is a hell of a lot of proof for me. Come on, Craig.
No, but that he was the prize in the Hunter Pence deal. He was the prize, as a catcher.
He was the prize as a catcher.
As a catcher.
Thank you for saying that.
Because the bat translates as a catcher.
Right.
The bat no longer translates as a first baseman.
Correct.
But I think from an organizational standpoint, you put so much time into the kid that now that he is doing it at the major league level, you're gonna stick it out for the year. You tried to get rid of him, or I hope they tried to get rid of him, and it just didn't happen.
But why isn't he taking balls in left field?
Because they tried that.
When? With Joseph?
Yeah, they tried that a couple years ago when he first came out of the concussion issues and they moved him. I thought they put him in the outfield.
I thought he was strictly first base. No, I could be wrong about that.
I thought,
Sweep says, but Hoskins, hold on, what did he say about Hoskins? There was something about Hoskins, and he said, fuck, play Hoskins at third. I'm tired of looking at that fat fuck Franco. Stinks.
I'm with you there.
And I think we actually
I had to go word for word with that because that's, I think, how everybody
Right, but I think we actually talked about that a few weeks ago when we said if you could play one corner, hopefully you could play the other.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be opposed to giving him a shot at third base.
Freddie made it look easy for the Braves. Freddie Freeman made it look really a little too easy.
But he didn't hit
at the beginning.
He didn't hit, and now he strained something over there. Now he's back at first. Big old Matt Adams or big little Matt Adams is back out in left field now.
Well, here's the numbers so far on Hoskins. Today was Game 7. He's got 29 plate appearances, 25 at bats. So 4 runs, 4 hits, 13 total bases on 4 hits. So yeah, he's got a single and 3 homers. 5 RBIs.
He went yard again today?
No, he went yard last night in the 9th inning.
Oh, I missed it. I was long gone.
But four strikeouts and 3 walks, so the strikeout-to-walk ratio is almost 1-to-1. His outs most of the time are hard outs. I think the kid's got great plate discipline. I mean, this is a kid who not only coming up through the system hit for power, but he was a 275 to 290 hitter. And I think you're seeing the plate discipline now, and I think some of the balls that he's hitting are just not dropping.
Sure.
I feel like as more balls start dropping for him and the batting average starts to go up, I feel like the power numbers are going to increase as well because he's going to be more focused on just putting good swings on the ball instead of just trying to murder everything, which, to his credit, it does seem like right now at least one swing every at bat. He's looking for the bomb, but he's not striking out as a result, which is a real good thing. Now, in left field, have there been some adventures out there? Absolutely.
No, there should be.
He's not.
There should be. It's not
second
easy.
week.
He's
It's
not
an easy transition.
Yeah, he's not a butcher.
No.
But there's definitely some things that could be done better. I mean, first thing he's got to do is he's got to play long toss every day, because his release.
Well, it's an infielder.
It's an infielder's release.
throw.
But I mean, even as an infielder, it looks like he's got kind of the short arm first baseman's throw.
Yeah, well, that's what he's been playing.
I mean, he's got a long toss every day, develop that long distance throwing, and the one thing that I don't want to see the Phillies do is send this kid down to Venezuela or to the Arizona Fall League or something specifically to play outfield. It's like, he played it
Well, that's a disservice to the whole organization.
Right, exactly.
If that's the route they go, and that's the most ridiculous thing. Because you
yeah.
got 2 kids that play out there that were your last 2 picks in the first round. One, number 1 overall.
Yeah.
Them guys are going to get their opportunity.
Right, well,
at every stretch, every corner they turn, they're going to get every chance.
Yeah, we've talked about it at length. I mean,
crack another one.
For a while.
2 for 6, why not?
3 for 6, great deal.
3 for 6, you do it.
Yeah, for a while, this organization was nothing but pitchers all up and down. Now it's all outfielders.
We'll take $200,000. Monster.
300.
Turn the can.
All class. 300,000? 300. Sorry, we're up it.
2 for you,
but
1
Mike,
for the 3 of us.
Mike, you couldn't have read those stats, and I'm still okay with it.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like you said, if you look at the at-bats, the approaches are good. I can think off the top of my head of his 29 at-bats. I can think of one where he was just
out of sorts.
And it was, I think, this weekend versus the Mets. And he was 2-0, and he swung at that. He went dead red hunting, and the pitch was up and in, and it put him now behind. He swung at a pitch outside, and then he struck out on the pitch outside. He's up 2-0, and then went 1-2-3 out. And that was the only one where I was like, all right, he's got to learn from that. But you're right. Everything else has been either a hard hit ball, a good walk, working in at bat, and just he feels comfortable. And I think Pete putting him right in a 4-hole, second game, kind of like says all we need to know about what the kid is.
Well, and
that's his home.
Right.
He's going to be your 4-hole hitter.
And I can tell you, if the first game that he got called up, if he wasn't facing DeGrom right out of the chute,
exactly.
he probably would have hit 4th as soon as he got called up. I mean, guy's just a professional hitter.
Yeah.
It's plain and simple. He's a professional hitter. The one really cool thing that I saw today that was kind of like, oh, okay. So they're playing this afternoon, and Odubel's out. So their outfield is Hoskins in left, Nick Williams in center, and Cameron Perkins in right. And I'm like, okay, so give me back Odubel and Aaron Altair. And I don't really want Rhys Hoskins as my left fielder, but I'd go to battle with that outfield next year. I'd rather have Hoskins at first base, obviously.
So what's your outfield next year?
Well, I'm just saying, looking at the 3 that were in the lineup today.
Right.
So you had Hoskins, Williams, and Perkins.
Yeah.
Give me as the other 2 outfielders in the mix. Give me a healthy Odubel and a healthy Aaron Altair.
Oh, and there's your 5 you're rotating?
And I have no problem with that, with those being my 5.
I thought you were implying that Perkins was playing
No,
over
Perkins is
Herrera.
Perkins is my 5th outfielder, defensive replacement.
Okay. Yeah,
can play all 3 spots.
I'm with you there.
And, I'd easily replace Perkins with Roman Quinn
and
if
Hoskins,
the kid could ever stay healthy.
And Hoskins is your everyday first baseman.
Yeah.
It should be.
Everyday first baseman.
Yeah.
It's not even a should. It will.
Well, yeah.
Needs to be.
Better be.
Needs to be.
Yeah.
Better be.
Better be. Needs to be. Should be. Is.
Should be like, should be, well,
okay.
it might not happen. Should be like, still chance it couldn't happen. Needs to be.
Eric Hosmer, does he happen? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, would you take Eric Hosmer over Rhys Hoskins at first base?
Well, that's a different story.
Well, there you go. That's so what So why not should be?
No, that's fair. Semantics.
Is Hosmer
Yeah.
is Hosmer a superstar?
I'd take him over anybody we have.
I mean, he's proven.
I'll
proven.
take Hosmer over him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially the glove work alone.
Do you trade him for Hosmer if you had to?
If it cost them, yeah. Because I think
I value winners.
That's fair.
And no offense to Hoskins, but
but he's 25 anyway.
We
He's
created
25.
Tommy Joseph. We could create Hoskins, that big Cuban that they signed. He's going to need a position somewhere because he just can't stop eating.
Right.
You know what I mean? So he's got to play somewhere eventually. So
Just can't stop eating.
Well, he's also a strikeout machine, but that's another.
No,
story
I'm not saying he's the
another
greatest.
story for
I
another
mean,
time.
48, so
mean,
I got as much as you want.
He's still 16.
Yeah,
or documented at
pretty
least.
much.
Yeah. Really, 42.
Yeah.
Sweep says, "What's up, boys? Great show."
What's up,
What's up, buddy?
Here's the crazy part, though, is for as much of a baseball junkie as I am, and you all know this, other than Hoskins and a little bit of Alfaro, I just get no desire to talk about the Phillies right now.
You know what I do?
I'd rather talk about their system than the team themselves.
You know what is nice though. The last couple games, I like seeing Williams in center.
Oh, yeah.
Because you don't. I didn't go on the minor league tour. So I don't get to the parks to see him. And it was nice to see him last night in center for a couple innings. Because you hear that he can play all 3 positions.
Right.
And just having to see him and put him in that position is nice to see. Because then you're like, all right, this kid really can play all 3 positions.
That was actually the one really smart thing that they did with him when they got him for Hamels was when he came over. They just every night they'd put him in a different outfield position, and it's going on for 2 years now.
Yeah.
The kid can play pretty much anywhere you put him.
And he made that nice catch last night, straight in, and
Yeah.
I don't know what he did today. I was at work.
Herrera's a really good center fielder too,
Yeah.
defensively.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah, he is. He gets a lot of stuff for some dumb shit he does baseball wise this year. That he's done, and rightfully so. Long season though, and it magnifies itself too once you do one. Once you do one thing stupid and it turns into 2, and then next thing you know, every one you do after that's going to be magnified.
It's interesting because I would say if Herrera wasn't a bonehead on the offensive side, he'd probably be in consideration for a Gold Glove on the defensive side. He's improved his defense that much.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when you look at him, he is a great center fielder, and he does go to the lapses. But when you're supposed to be the leader, or when you're the highest paid guy, and the thing with the lapses, it's the same ones over and over again. It's not like it's something new. We're like, all right, that was just a pure aggression type thing. He did something new this time. It's the same one over and over and over again. And that's the frustrating part.
It is frustrating because you see all the talent.
Yeah.
And that's what I was stuck on when he first came into the league. I saw him like his first 2 at-bats, and I thought to myself, man, this is a guy who can win a batting title. This is a guy who just right off the bat, his balance at the plate, the way he kept his hands back so well, just everything he did right off the bat was like, oh, man. And I used to say to Sleeps and Wilson, and I even probably said to you too, Mike, that I think Herrera, and you too, Rob, I think Herrera one day is going to win a batting title. That's the kind of player at the plate I thought he could be. And I still believe he has them capabilities, but you can tell why he's not getting everything he should all the time. It's because of the lapses.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He'll go on tears where through a month stretch where, he's second in league in extra bases.
He's on a tear right now.
You know what I mean? And
He was down just over 200.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he's up at 290.
Yeah, he's been raking.
And you don't do that by just
By
hitting
accident.
by hitting a little bit.
Right.
That's a tear.
He can go on tears, and that's what drives you crazy with the mental shit. Because you're like, man, this guy's a damn good baseball player. And to your point, he's the highest point player on this team. He needs the little things need to be done right, especially when you're building, right? So, I mean, that's something coming in next year where if it continues and it's a guy where, okay, maybe he's not the guy we thought he was, but we can still get something for him because we have Moniak coming up or whatever the case is. My hope is that the Williams and Herrera and Hoskins and Hernandez and all these guys make it hard to bring up guys.
Sure.
That they're that good. Like I said, I don't think Kingery's coming up anytime soon because I think Caesar's that good of a baseball player. And the same thing goes right now at shortstop. But what I do, to Sweeps' point about Franco, good. You know what I do to that? I either send his ass down, even if I can, I don't care. And I move Freddie there, and I bring JP up at the end of the year. Okay? And then Freddie can stay defensively, and he can give you power from the corner. He can give you a little pop from the corner spot. And you're paving the way to get your kid up.
It's
paving the way. Not hurting anybody's feelings.
It's interesting because I'm watching the game.
Shit, A-Rod went to third. Everybody can go to third after that, right?
No, it's interesting because I'm watching the game last night, and I don't ever wish injury on someone. But when Franco got hit last night on the hand, I thought for sure, especially given that hand and that wrist has already been broke once.
I was cheering.
The way he went down, my immediate reaction was that hand is broke. And then my
when it got caught under the glove a little bit.
No, he got hit by a pitch.
Oh, okay, I didn't see it.
And went down like he got shot. But my immediate reaction was, okay, it's mid-August. You could put him on the 60-day DL and clear a roster spot to bring up JP and move Freddie to third.
Yeah.
Like I immediately I'm like plotting on because they got to bring up another infielder. And I don't want Pedro Florimon. I don't want Hector Gomez.
No.
You just move Freddie to third, and let's get JP up here.
The worst part about that whole thing is they scan the dugout, and you see
Rick Kranitz.
No, you see
Kranitz.
No, but you see what the frig? I lost his name. The utility guy.
Andres Blanco.
Yes, Blanco running through the dugout, like getting his glove. Like I'm like, I can't go through more Andres Blanco in the starting lineup. I'm like, I can't do it.
How about this? I mean, even if it's Hernandez over there third and it's Gallo the second.
That's fine.
Either way, but I look at it this way going into next year. I'm figuring out a way to rid myself of Franco. Okay, I'm ending that experiment. All right, and I'm going to go in a different direction, and I'm going to get Crawford up, and I'm going to move either Freddie to third or Hernandez to third, or vice versa. And that's how I'm going to run with it next year. You get the kid up, you keep Freddie defensively. He's a go-off third baseman too. He's going to pick it just the same way. Or second, wherever he goes. And like I said, as long as Hernandez is playing good baseball, it's going to make it hard on Kingery to get up.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that, but that's a competition next year to look forward to, too. I know there wasn't a lot of Phillies to talk about, but that's the competition going next year. Kingery's a competition. And if they are still in love with freaking Franco, then, it's going to be interesting how they play that out. Because Crawford's got to come up some way. And I agree with not wanting to lose Galvis defensively. And he can hit for enough power to play a corner spot for you to get through. You through because he's that good defensively. You can get it done.
Can Freddie play left field?
I'm sure he can.
It's always an option.
Well, he can play third and get rid of Franco.
Can he catch?
I'm sure he can. It's like those middle infield guys. That's why you draft middle infielders. That's why you take them because they're so athletic. I mean, look at Buster Posey.
Oh, yeah.
His senior year at college or whenever, I don't know if it was senior year. It probably was.
He was a shortstop,
But
right?
he played all 9 positions.
Well,
we played all 8 positions during the year.
Right.
But he was a natural shortstop.
Jason Garsola chiming in on Facebook. Williams, Altair, Moniak for 10 years. Well, what does that do with
I don't know about Altair, but I'm –
Well, and that's the thing is I'm actually a little bigger on Altair than you guys, but – from what I've seen out of Moniak this year and Hazley,
I think Hazley's already above him.
I think you're gonna be talking about Hazley before you talk about Moniak, which is natural because he's a college graduate as opposed to a high school kid.
Yeah, he's going to be a faster track. Should be.
Moniak just looks tired.
Yeah, and he's not the Harpers of the world that out of high school with that pick. He wasn't that kind of guy off the bat.
He just doesn't have the body for it.
He's
still a pup.
He's still young, and he's going to grow into it, and he's going to take a little bit more time.
Yeah.
But that's why you signed Herrera. Because you're like, all right, we have a center fielder here. Why not sign him? and now that kid can take his time.
Right.
We don't have to rush for this kid. And I think that was a smart signing in that way. If you look at it from that viewpoint, like, well, now we don't have to rush Moniak. You know, he can build into his body, grow into it. And like you said, if he is tired, the body's a factor, obviously, why he's tired. And
it's a different position, but that's why you move Randolph to the outfield. You know, the guy can hit.
Well, that's what they did.
But that's why you move it so that, you know, he has a place to play. You know, to where then now, you know, so, you know, just throwing it out there, you go Randolph Williams in center if Moniak's not ready and he keeps getting passed up, you know, or passed over.
Right, but I mean, there's other guys that are still in this conversation too. I mean, guys that we rarely ever talk about just because of what they're doing this year or where they are in the organization. I mean, you still have Dylan Cousins, who, you know, set a record last year at Double-A for home runs in a season. You still got Carlos Tocci. You still got Andrew Pullen. Still got Cornelius Randolph, Moniak, Hazley, going all the way down to, you know, to Williamsport with Jalen Ortiz, who you mentioned earlier. I mean, the outfield depth in this organization right now is ridiculous.
Great
problem is they need to do it, and some of them are going to miss. That's just how it is.
Oh, sure.
Well, Jason Gersola says Herrera brings 0, and he also says he's a streaky hitter. Streaky ain't 2 months worth of hitting the cover off the ball. That's not streaky. That's good.
That was my point. You don't go from 210 to 290 by being streaky.
No, that's
you go
consistent.
from 210 to 230 by being streaky.
He's a lot of things on the baseball field, Jason, but hitting is one thing that
and I'm the biggest hater
that you can't hate on him for is his bat. You want to hate on the flip or all that, you can go, that's a different story.
Right.
But just in terms of him as a hitter is one thing on the baseball field that you can't argue that he's not good at. Now, the other things you want to argue, I think like you said, he's a real good center fielder, but there is major lapses on the base pass and different things. We can all agree on that.
Sure.
But
it's funny that
you can get by with him with everybody else up, and with the money you have to spend until Moniak's ready. You can get away with a guy that brings you that in center field when he's batting 6 or 7 in the goddamn lineup, right?
Yeah.
That's facts. I'm not looking to be my my star of my team.
Jason,
that's why we stink.
Jason Grizzlia could swing it a little bit.
Yeah.
He was a real good hitter back in the day.
Nice.
Gotta love when the guys that can swing it chime in.
Yeah, well, some guys can hit it. So we can disagree on what we think of him as a hitter. That's fine.
Todd Womack, what's good, guys? Our show.
What's up, buddy?
Yeah, no, he said, listen, that's the issue. The issue is on the base pass. I mean, that's where the issue lies at.
Right.
Is mistakes on the base pass. Like when it's second and third, that ball, you got to make sure the runner on third goes. That's that's what I teach my 9U teams do.
Yeah.
Right? You got to make sure the guy in front of you goes before you go. You get taught that at the lowest level. Maybe not in Venezuela, but everywhere else, you get taught that. So, but as a hitter, listen, I fell in love with him early, so I'm going to have a different, I tolerate some of the stuff he does more than I should, essentially, because I like him that much of a hitter. You know what I mean? From jump, like we talked about.
But see, here's the thing. So, you also it's funny because both of you guys look at it from coaching standpoints, and you as a coach see just the pure talent there, and like you just have this will for him to just not be a clown because there's so much talent there.
Yeah.
And then you as the coach says he's got all the talent in the world, but the guy's just a flat-out idiot, and he can't do anything for me if he keeps making these mistakes. It's just a real interesting juxtaposition there.
Yeah, and if he ever is the best player in your team, there's a reason you're on pace to lose 100 games.
Yeah.
Okay? So, no, that's saying all you need to say about it. Okay? But with pieces around him, the money they had to spend.
Yeah.
I mean, he's never going to be the guy here, and he never should be.
He's
just going to be
six-hole
a real
hitter.
good hitter that you have.
He's either going to be a 2-hole hitter at the top of the lineup, a guy that can handle the bat, or he's going to be a 6-hole hitter.
Yep.
The guy, on the back half of that middle that can still drive a ball down the gap.
Well, it'll be real interesting, though, to see, like you said, with all the money they have to spend.
Oh, yeah.
Do they just bank on the kids and continue to build for 2 more years? Or do they just get to a point where they say, you know what, stuff's burning a hole in our pocket. Let's go buy some superstars.
I think you just go buy it anyway.
Let's do it.
You know what I mean? I think that's why we were all in agreement of the Stanton-Yelich deal before Stanton went off on this tear. Oh, do the deal, Matty. I mean, we can only help you so much. We can only guide you, put you in a spot to make plays. If you don't make the play,
we can only
who's that on?
We can only load the bus for you.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much we can do here. But you look at that deal, and it's like you do them deals like we talk about all the time. You trade prospects for proven talent if you get an opportunity to, because you know what they can do. I always said, any guy under the age of 26, I'll trade prospects for every day and twice on Sunday.
Especially if they're signed to contract.
Yeah, because then I'm going to get him.
Because now you know.
Yeah, and Stan's going to be on. You can look at Stan in 5 years and you got him on the cheap, and he's still young.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So, I mean, and Yelich, I love Yelich. But that, that's just me with Yelich. I love Christian Yelich. I think he's such a good baseball player. And, I think that's the best outfield in baseball, too.
Oh, left to right, no question.
Yeah.
No
Azuna's
argument here.
a freaking problem, too. I mean, a flat-out problem. I said I was
take all three of
Remember
them.
we talked about that? We said
Take all three of them.
You said, well, why don't we throw Ozuna in? I was thinking the same damn thing.
And D. Gordon?
Yeah, can we get them all? Clean swap. We'll take on all the contracts.
We'll give you 6 out of our top 10 prospects and 3 more out of the top 50. You just give us your entire outfield and D. Gordon.
Yeah, Jason Garsol was saying, like, he hoped in 2 years we're not talking about any of these guys and we have Trout and a ton of cash to spend elsewhere. No, yeah,
I like your style.
That's what we all wanted.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd do the deal for Trout right now. They ain't, like Wilson said, he said the Angels never going to do it. They never would. I mean, why would they trade him? He's the best player in baseball. Why are you just going to trade him?
Yeah.
Well,
Unless you're that bad, but they got to sell too.
there is one
Sells tickets.
reason. There is one reason.
Plenty of them.
And it's the same issue that they've had now for 3 years, which actually talks a lot about their front office. The Angels historically have one of the worst farm systems in Major League Baseball, and they're not doing a real good job replenishing it, whether it's been bad luck with draft picks, high-round draft picks getting injured, stuff like that. So if your Major League team isn't winning with Trout and you want to refill the cupboard in one swift move, you ship Trout out and you get back 5 top 10 prospects in return.
And let's be real, when that does happen, there's only one spot he's going right away, and that's New York. You know what I mean? Right off the jump, he's going to New York. That's the next move. Whenever it happens, that's who the LA is going to send them to.
Unless
Just because they're going to come in huge because they're New York. They're going to miss out on Harper. You know what I mean? They're going to miss out on these other guys. And they're like, all right, we got to go make a splash. We're the Yankees. Let's go.
right, but the unless is how Washington they gave Harper that 1-year extension. And he said, well, we'll lock you up for an extra year, and then we'll come back and renegotiate after that. Well, what happens if, say, the Angels try to do the same thing with Trout, and they want to give him that 1-year extension? But in that 1-year extension, he says, I'll sign it, but I want a no-trade clause.
Well, I mean, yeah,
There you go. Or I want to.
So then, how are we getting them then? So then we're still not getting them. That's the point.
Because at that point, then he's got to play it out. He becomes a free agent. If he becomes a free agent, he's either coming here or the Mets. Bottom line.
I don't think he would do the Mets. I don't think he would do that.
I don't think he would either.
I think you go. I think you go pinstripe before Mets.
I think he would come here.
Well,
honestly.
no, I'm saying I think this is his first shot, but.
Yeah, and the Phillies did. Jason Garsol will say Phillies have more to offer. They do.
They do.
They do.
A lot more.
But that doesn't always, pan out.
True.
No, but I mean, I would hate to want it.
Oh.
So
10,
what?
you want 10? I'll just be on the phone with my scout saying we need 10 replacements ASAP to fill the farm up a little bit with.
ASAP.
That's why we got all the international money.
Somebody fly a Dominican. Somebody get on a flight.
Get me the entire Southern California scouting team on the phone now.
We need it like a 747. We're loading it.
So talking about Harper, though, I mean, does this injury hurt their playoff chances at all, or are they pretty much just running away with it?
They're in.
No, because what it does is it sits them down. With no true injury, just some discomfort. You know what I mean? There's no tear. There's no ligament damage of any sort. It's just like what LA's doing with Kershaw. Just allows him to sit him down, rest him a little bit. He'll come back the last 2 weeks, get those live at bats, and be good to go.
That's why you can make the case Kershaw was better in the postseason last year, to a point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He pitched well in the postseason last year. He was shut down
after being shut down.
Yeah, he had been shut down.
Now though,
coincidence.
But tying this back to a Philadelphia thing though, he's got the same injury that Joel Embiid had last year that required him to be shut down for the rest of the year.
Different situation because we were in tank mode again.
Agreed.
Tank mode 6.0. we were in. So a different story. And Colangelo was a lying, rat-faced bastard last year.
Well, he still is, too.
No, I'll hold out judgment again on another year. And if we win, Mickey's still my guy. But I'll give the guy a pat on the goddamn back. That's about it. Still a rat. I don't even want access ever to talk to a rat. I'm going to get nothing out of him. Lies. Whatever. But, yeah, I will. I think they're in. They're good.
Yeah, I don't see an issue.
No, I think Nationals are in a good spot. As much as I hate it.
And you just look at what's going on now, though. So the Nationals are in a good spot, even with the Harper injury. The Dodgers are ridiculous. I mean, they just had a stretch, 50 games where they went 43-7.
It's not even right.
They're 50 games over 500,
Puig's
and they're on pace to win 118.
Puig's a pretty good player too, isn't he?
A little bit.
Yeah,
he can swing a little bit.
I remember when I begged for the Phils to make that move too.
I think.
But here's the thing, though.
Only do so much.
I mean, I understand they went out and got Yu Darvish, but they're doing this now without Kershaw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's insane.
Well, that's what the contagious comes in. You know what I mean? You're winning so much that even though your horse goes down, you're just so used to the winning right now that it carries over. You do the right things. You get that bunt down. You move a runner the right way. The little things come into play. Everybody's hustling
the next
and
man
playing
up.
the game hard. Yeah.
Next man up. If I lay down a bunt, then I know it's my job. I got to get that single or I got to drive that guy in.
Like when you're Washington, you already had 68 wins at the time or 69, whatever it was. I mean, you were cruising.
Yeah.
So guys just pick it up. And when when you look at even who else were we talking about in that mix? But for the Nationals and the Dodgers, yeah. And the Dodgers at the time, I mean, they're 84 now. I mean, what did they have when Kershaw went down? 70? I mean, they were still on fire.
Yeah.
They were cruising, and they just carried it through. And it just shows you what winning does. Winning and losing, it just how contagious everything in baseball is. It's so funny.
Sure.
And the Cubs, I mean, they went from, 4.5 back at the All-Star break to now, I think they're 7.5 up.
Yeah,
So
they're
it's a-
tied,
well,
they're tied
it's a 12
at 6
12
right
game,
now.
Yeah, and-
12 game stretch in a month.
And that
Well, it
a
goes,
lot of that is
it's
the Brewers, but the rest of that division never took it. They all let the Cubs hang around.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nobody
And
made moves.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody
The Brewers
made moves.
The
Yep.
Brewers didn't do anything.
You let the world champions hang around, and that's what you
Yeah,
get.
because you're right. There was the hangover, and they were feeding themselves. But sooner or later, they're a darn good baseball
Yeah,
team.
you were waiting for it.
Yeah, so it was all of a sudden just like, all right, who's going to spark, and then we're going to go off.
Yeah, because when you saw when you saw them only 4.5 back and 1.5 back, and Milwaukee's feeling good about themselves,
Still within spitting distance.
and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
stop leaving them. And then when Milwaukee doesn't make any moves at the deadline to make their team a better baseball team, you're like, okay, you're just,
Yep. Cubs are like, thank you.
yep, you're done. You're
It was like, I don't got to do anything now.
and Milwaukee just saying we're going to play with house money, and that's how they looked at that. They weren't going to make any moves and give up anybody. They were just going to play with house money, and that's fine too. Because how good are they anyway? Even if you do win that division,
Yeah.
we know the Cubs are a good baseball team, but we know the Cardinals should have been. Pirates should have been a better baseball team. I mean, there are two teams in that division that didn't live up to what they were supposed to be. Whole division was down, besides Milwaukee. Real weird year for
definitely.
for the Central.
If you look at MLB as a whole right now, is there any chance that the world champion doesn't come out of the National League?
Houston Astros, Boston Red Sox. I mean, Red Sox got horses to throw at you.
The Red Sox had the rotation,
Yep.
with Sale Price there at the top. And, at least from a fantasy standpoint, Pomeranz has had a really good year.
Houston's awesome. I think they're a year away. I think some of their kids need that deep playoff run experience.
Yes.
Boston would scare me a little bit.
And I think Houston, they don't have the quality of arms,
Right.
especially with
No.
Keuchel hurt.
Yeah,
No.
I mean, it's
No, but
it's Keuchel, and that's
But
it.
if the lineup's hot,
Sure.
then watch out.
Then they're going to rate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
then watch out. 'cause
Oh, there's no doubt.
They'll beat you up in the playoffs 12-8. They don't care.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's a factor.
But
and
I think
Boston with just Sale alone, you're like,
I think
okay.
outside of those two, though, yeah, you're right. I mean, I think it's a National League, again, a National League year.
Well, it should be, but you look at the National League and the two teams running away with it, boys, and both teams are they are who we thought they were, but neither one is ever closed. Neither one's ever finished. Both been there a lot, right? Both been there a good amount.
Yeah.
Neither one is finished. So for me to say, because they're having a great regular season, to be like, well, I think it's definitely coming out of the NL. I don't think so. I think it's coming out of the AL. I just do. None of them teams scare me because they never close. They never close. Nationals never close.
No.
We know the Dodgers don't. We know the Dodgers never do. You know what you're going to get. I just don't feel like they ever close the door.
You got to start somewhere.
I know you got to start somewhere, but
I don't know. If I got to go into a 7-game series and my top 3 pitchers are Kershaw, Yu Darvish, and Alex Wood, and I got Cody Bellinger playing first base instead of the aging Adrian Gonzalez with another year of Corey Seager, Justin Turner playing the way he is, your guy Puig with his head screwed on straight. I think this would be the year that if the Dodgers are going to finish, this is it. This is it.
I agree.
If you want to catch every game, StreamSmart.com, StreamSmart Vinny, check him out. I got the McGregor Mayweather fight going to happen. So we got that handled for free, man. I mean, imagine you pay double what you pay for the fight, and you get it free anytime you want. Think about that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how much they all are. Vinny will drop his shit in here. And you guys talk to him, all right? A lot of hands there.
I got a guy.
These things are legit, man. They really are. They're the best. They're great. They're easy to use, and I get everything I want. You don't feel like listening to Crocker and Tommy one night? Then go over and listen to the other broadcast because you can.
Interesting.
You can.
Interesting.
Ethan Stratton will do what Bumgarner did when the Giants won the World Series in 2014. Very possibly.
Yeah, it's
very good chance.
It's quite possible.
Very good chance. Now, I get it that the Dodgers got Darvish too. I get it the Dodgers are loaded and Bellinger and they're playing great baseball. But to me, just to say, well, they're the team when they never have finished, period, it's hard for me to say. They should be. Talent-wise, they should beat anybody.
Right.
They got the staff to beat anybody in a short series. There's not even a question there.
Yeah.
Right? But what Kershaw you getting, too, in the playoffs? We've seen that struggle. You hope to, I've seen Darvish struggle in the postseason as well with the Rangers. So I think at the end of the day, it just depends who they face and who they match up against lineup-wise.
Always, yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see. But I do like the Red Sox a lot. I really do.
And they have the hitters, too.
They're in a tough division. It's the only reason they don't have 80 wins.
Mookie Betts, Ben Tenney.
Yeah, they rake.
They can rake.
They can flat out rake you to death. And they got the staff to shut you down in a series, too.
Yeah.
So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to see.
It'll be fun.
I wouldn't mind a Dodgers-Red Sox World Series.
That'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty crazy.
It's tough when you only have, 40-plus wins. It's tough to freaking watch baseball.
It is.
As a whole,
especially on the West Coast when they're out there. It's like, why am I staying up for this track?
Like I was going through last night, and I'm like, I think I will when no matter what happens next year, because I have a feeling that like every pup we want's going to be up, and we might even spend some money. And it would be nice to spend some money bullpen staff-wise. Mm. And that would be a year – that better be the year that it's a full 162 watch. And there's no shutdown. You know what I mean? And there's no missing games. Well, that's what I can't wait for.
If I didn't have 2 TVs, I would miss a lot of games.
I'll tell you what.
But it's easy for me just to throw it on the other one.
It's – I love Crocker and I love Schmitty. But if I ever have to sit through another game like I sat through on Sunday where they literally – just kept bringing the two of them food in the booth from one concession stand after another, because the game was so freaking boring that they had to turn to, look at all the great concessions we have here at the bank. Yeah. Watching Crocker eat a freaking 9-patty Jake's Wayback
How about
burger.
this? We're talking about fucking sandwiches and shit over how good our baseball players are.
Sandwiches?
You know what I mean? Sandwiches.
We reached that point in the year.
I love that movie.
We reached that point in the year where now we're trying to sell the ballpark again.
Some sandwiches.
Here's what's new.
Yeah,
you want some donuts?
Right. Nothing's fucking new.
No.
Nothing's old, but nothing's new. So don't give me this shit.
But just because no one goes to his games anymore.
You want me to be happy about ballpark concessions? Bring me back a goddamn Schmitter. Because they don't even offer it there anymore.
Yeah, that's
ridiculous.
A travesty.
It is a travesty.
I had it one time with you. It was the greatest thing I've ever eaten.
It was the best sandwich best sandwich ever. But we had to eat it at the freaking Link.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
I wish I could go to the Eagles game tomorrow night. What time does it start? 7 too?
7.
Yeah.
I might be eating a Schmitter tomorrow night, just saying.
Should. Went in Rome.
Absolutely.
I was in Rome, it felt like,
Yeah, you
for
were.
6 days, 7 nights, or 6 nights, 7 days. Get that right. Get that lingo. How they do it.
Where'd you stay?
Travel talk.
You were at Caesars, right?
Yeah.
Caesars.
Nice.
He was in Rome.
Good
I
call.
was in Rome. Did Caesar really stay here?
He
I
did.
think he did.
Oh, this is hold on. This is great. Alex Ocasio. Holy shit. 11:30 and it's still going. Hashtag for the people.
This is what we're here for.
That's right.
For the fan, by the fan.
Hey, Alex, it's been a couple weeks. Got the boys need to catch up.
Dobby, you go over to the Venetian?
No, I don't think so.
Really? All right.
I was in, what I go into? Cosmopolitan, which was sick. That's a new one. It's
Cosmo is ridiculous.
sick. That was the one Ballers episode was in. Filthy. They got like a chandelier. I'll show you guys pictures. Ridiculously big chandelier. And Leonard's like, I wonder if we take one off. And I was like, yeah, that'd be cool. Probably worth nothing. It just look good. We went Fremont Street.
Always a good experience.
Yeah, good one time. I seen enough.
Did you make it to the Nugget to go through the Shark Tank?
No,
Oh,
no.
you got
There's
next
so
time.
much to see.
Oh,
and
it is.
it's good you don't hit up everything because it's an excuse to go get.
Yeah, I went to the Bellagio.
Vegas,
I went
baby.
through the Bellagio, walked through that. I went to I walked in.
You saw the
Nice.
fountain show, right?
Yeah, I saw the
Yeah,
fountain.
yeah,
The
yeah.
fountain show was out my window
Nice.
from Caesars.
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
How are you?
Yeah.
I mean, we had great. My sister works for the NFL, and things or NFL alumni and things that they do, benefit each other. So she was able to get rooms,
I should have sent you to
and not just 1, 3, and
How you doing?
how you doing? And all 3 of us were overlooking the fountain, and during the day, all we saw was the mountains.
Yeah.
And it was just a great
It's
shot.
incredible.
We had the
Awesome.
whole city because Bellagio was right out there too, and off their first floor this way, look over the fountain. They have personal pools.
Yeah.
I'm like, I got a great view, and I'm like, you son of a bitch. I got one of the best views in the house, and I'm like, you bastard. I want the pool. And where was it? Palms, I think it was.
Palms at.
Palms had they had them off they had little pools 30
Yeah.
floors up off.
Yeah.
I'm like, you.
Oh, it's funny because I was.
Plus the sky bar on top too, where it's all
Sky
big
bar,
dome. Yeah.
was
They
gonna
had
tell you-
personal. These were personal little your deck
Yeah.
was a
pool.
pool. Oh,
Yeah.
I should have
Give me
sent.
one.
Should have sent you
stay
to
put one right out freaking here.
late night at Dre's nightclub. It's 9 floors up, right on the strip, with a pool next to the dance floor. Buddy from home is the DJ there. It's off the hook every night. It's funny because while you were there, he posted a picture that was Donovan McNabb in the house tonight, and it's a picture of him with Donovan McNabb.
Oh,
like
shit.
the next
sprint for 5.
the next
Bob, I do love
next
you.
night he's got Flavor Flav in there, and it's just I don't think he even goes on until 1 a.m. I think he spins from 1 to 5.
Because everything everything's
Yeah.
open to 4 or 5. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Everything's open all night, but
Yeah, he's
you know
just
what I
off
mean?
the hook.
We went on the high roller.
There you go.
Oh,
Nice.
that shit was sweet.
Yeah.
The spin.
Did you see the pirate show down at Treasure Island?
No, that was down a little ways
Yeah.
the other way. We more in an out burger twice.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Good
That's
stuff
a
right
must.
there.
Oh,
Did you
my
bring any
God.
home?
No, I wanted.
I don't
to.
care. I don't care how old it is. Do you have any?
I was thinking about
I'm
it.
fiending.
I was
I'm
thinking
fiending.
about it. It was that good.
Now did you do it animal style or did you go straight up?
No, animal.
Attaboy.
Yeah, give me
you
everything.
go.
And it was great because they were it was so cheap.
It
too.
is very cheap.
And I'm like, are you kidding me? $20 for all the food I just got? And I was like, I'm going to go back again. And it was the last 2 nights I was there. I went in and out.
That's the best way to do it.
Now, you saw T-Mobile Arena, right?
Yeah, Team over was all gold. I'm going to tell you that. It's all gold right now. It's really freaking cool
For
looking.
the Golden Knights.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, it's close. It's right by where the stadium site is, too.
So and you went there too.
Yeah, the stadium site's really cool. I remember showing the overhead of it, and my mom be like, it's too small. I said, that's not too small. Let's trust me. And we finally found it, and it's oh my God, it's ginormous.
Yeah.
And the backdrop, it's right off the interstate there, and the backdrop is just everything.
Do they have a rendering of what it's going to look like?
They got a rendering online.
Do they? Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know if they
Is
had.
that,
I didn't know if they had a billboard.
No, they had
sitting
one
right
little
there.
billboard, and it said, "Home of the L.A. Raiders." That's it. And it was this piece of shit billboard, and I was like, "That's all you're giving me?"
Right.
So because they're just not there yet, I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh well, they looking at 2020. We got plenty of time." John, give it a rest, buddy. Stop digging. We're good. We're good. Just go to the farm. Go put 500 on black real quick. Nothing matters.
Grab some in and out while you're
But I do have to eat a ton of fucking crow because I didn't think anything sports-wise would work out there as a professional thing.
We went at it pretty hard on that one.
I digress. Because you can't make that call without being there. And I made the call without ever being there to see it for myself. How many people are there. And how many Raiders fans are going to come anyway from Oakland. And that's going to bring in a ton of money. It's the whole thing. The whole thing is just going to work. Now, hockey, I think hockey will work too. But the only problem with hockey is that with both is that period is a little bit more of a duller period than you're going to get in the summer. Not the first 2 months, but in the winter, it's going to be a little bit of not as many people there. But I still think hockey will work because there's going to be enough people. It's better than any other city you're going to send it to because it's something to do. It just adds on to the things they do in Vegas now.
Yeah.
You think about when your team plays, like Mike said, to be on the phone, when the Eagles play, we got to go. You know what I mean? And
4 years.
Yeah,
but there's no.
But that's how people are going to do it. It's going to be trips in Vegas. And listen, I said it's going to be one of the. It'll be a top 5 organization in terms of money.
A buddy of mine already got tickets to go see Flyers nights out there. That's a great thought too.
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
And that's what could really make it work during a time period where tourism is low. So that's
get
a
a cheap
double
flight.
win-win.
You get a better flight out there. It's not a backbreaker.
Here's what I think the big difference is going to be, though. I think the Raiders, you walk into that stadium once they start playing there, it'll be 95% Raiders fans.
Oh, yeah.
You walk into the T-Mobile Arena, it may be a 60-40 split between the Golden Knights and all the people who traveled in with the visiting team to watch a game and party on the street.
I think that
maybe not, though, because they have sold out season tickets for the next 10 years. I would assume that's more local.
Yeah, no, it is because now it's new. And a lot of it is people going and buying tickets already, for different things, like this year at least. But moving forward, no. I mean, people down there, something to do. It's a new thing to do.
But here,
how many are out of state, though?
Right, but here's the other injection into the economy, though. They give all these locals first opportunity to buy up all these season tickets. Well, then all of a sudden, all these tourists start coming in looking for tickets for games.
Boom, jack them up.
StubHub.
Yeah.
There you go.
But
John, hold on. Joe Kern Jr., nice show, guys. Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
But talking about the city, there's a reason why every major boxing event's there, every huge UFC event's there, because it's a town.
And casino comps.
And the casino comps, but you know what I mean?
Said.
But that's the essence of what they are. So that's why getting back to, I think you're right. I think it can thrive and take off there. It's just a matter of who was gonna break that cherry, who's gonna pop it and be the first one in there.
Well, football, no question. I mean, football, easy, done and done. I mean, that's a no-brainer. That's going to be ridiculously successful.
Yep.
The hockey, hockey in general is tough.
Yeah.
But I think because it's new and with a lot of tourists out there, like, oh, what's to do tonight? Oh, and the way to promote the nights out there, I think it's going to be people are going to be drawn to it, something else to do. One to get out of casino, easy on gambling for a night. We'll go do this. So I think it just adds on to the things you do there, which is going to help make it successful as much as you can be in hockey.
Well, where are the arena and the new prospective stadium? At what point at the Strip is that? Is that down near the Luxor, or
down by Tropicana MGM?
So right by the airport.
By the MGM.
Right by the airport.
Yeah, by the airport,
Okay.
down that way.
A lot of traffic there.
Yeah. And easier access because it's towards the end of
Well,
it.
the stadium is almost directly across from the airport, right?
Yeah.
Whereas T-Mobile's a little further up the strip.
It's in the strip a little more. The stadium's outside of it, right off of it.
Yeah.
Is where the stadium is. So there's overhead shots and stuff, and you can see on the video I did too, where it just what's behind it and everything. So it's cool.
It's awesome,
the suburbs of Vegas. I mean, if you were to take the entire suburban Las Vegas area and not just downtown, it's one of the fastest growing cities in the United States.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
and such a great area to live too.
80 million people a year.
They come through.
Come through.
Yeah, my buddy's uncle lives out there.
Yeah, Chris at casino will use tickets to lure people, deals, etc.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's another way. Yeah. Oh, the casinos, it's going to help them big time too.
Oh yeah.
It's a win for everybody.
Your casino comps will include 2 tickets to the Golden Knights.
Yeah.
There you
and
go.
guess what? You know what? And from being in Vegas, when you go to Vegas, Vegas did everything right that Atlantic City never could or did. And the revel was to try to be a Vegas type casino, but it's one thing to be the casino. It's what they have outside of the casino and everything around it that sells Vegas more and more. You know, I mean, Atlantic City can be huge because you got the beaches, but there's nothing off like a strip that you have. There's no drinking. There's not, you know what I mean? So there's things you can't do, and that's why.
And there's no sports gambling.
Gambling.
You just got me thinking about that conversation we had the other day.
Which one?
About when I was telling you about walking out of the hotel, grabbing a beer, and literally just walking, walking from one end of the strip to the other while drinking a beer, and the only time you stopped was to pee and get another beer.
To go in the casino and get another free beer.
Get a beer.
Walk out.
And it was literally walking from Planet Hollywood to Stratosphere, across the street, all the way back down the other end of the other side of the strip to MGM, cross back over, and come back up to Planet Hollywood.
Freaking hike.
Didn't spend a dime.
I was telling Tom about that, and he's like, Jesus Christ, what was that, a 5-mile walk? Like, pretty much.
But you know what? You don't spend a dime.
Well, it depends.
If you play it right, or
if you play it right.
a little gambling. You got to sit
you
there a
go
little
to
bit.
Walgreens and get whatever
Well, I'm saying you
cheap
can go-
beer you want.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You can get a 32-ounce can of, whatever you want at Walgreens for $2 and walk right back out.
You get a PBR, the freaking big boy.
You're talking my
it's the best.
my
I know.
It's the best people
Since his
watching.
boyfriend got one. That was the first drink he got when I was with him. And I was like, it made me think. Yep.
You know, best people watching in time, though, is I had down there was walking the strip.
Yeah. No, it's just cool. It's just the environment.
Yeah.
You know, and you see people fall over and, you know, and even the lady knew. I mean, the tail. Oh.
Frank Vespi chimes in. This show keeps going and going and going.
And the cards flapping.
Yeah, the cards.
That.
Oh.
Tens out there are another level.
Oh. Yes, they are.
Tens out there are another level.
Oh, for sure.
People think, you think you're good here?
First night, some dude comes up to me outside at Caesars, pounds me, and goes, Coke Molly? And I said, nah, I'm good, but sample? And he said to me, and I'm like, nah, I'm still good, though, thanks. And I gave a pound and walked away. And then that same night, this girl comes walking out and goes, where's everybody at? Where's everybody you're with? And I was like, they're sleeping. You know what I mean? And then
Did she pull her card out?
some other things were said, and she walked away and then waved like 4 dudes over. And I was like, I see what this is. This is nice to watch.
Hustling.
It was funny. I was sitting there in a casino with a couple of buddies, and this girl from across the way was smiling at me, and I'm like, oh yeah. And I'm like, then I look at myself, I'm like, who the hell's smiling at me? I'm like, I got to remember I'm in Vegas. There's no one smiling at me that doesn't want money.
What do I swipe?
It's funny because I was going to say I had a similar story. Sitting at the Chandelier Bar in the Cosmopolitan and was dressed having come from a business meeting, and I must have looked like a high roller or something like that because one gorgeous woman after the next comes over and sits down next to you, orders a drink and wants to make conversation, and just like, yeah, no.
Big Mikey Smalls.
You're not even in my. Not only are you not even in my ballpark, I don't even play baseball anymore. And then you get the ones that say, well, you know what? If you're looking for something to do later on,
Yeah.
and then they give you a business card, it's like, masseuse, professional girlfriend experience, and other services as needed. It's like, other services? What would that be?
Yeah. Can I get a question?
Oh, Mr. Kata.
But it was funny. Lennon was pointing them all out like, oh, she's hustling. Oh, that one's hustling.
Oh, yeah.
Like she was pointing them out.
The women could spot him easier than we can.
She's like, okay, girl, just get yours. Get it. Get your money.
I got one right here for you guys.
You can take him. I was like, really? We can all go?
Let's make a party out of it.
Yeah. When in Rome.
Where's that guy?
And we are.
Where's that guy that just hit me up? Where's he at?
Yeah.
Well, you had
Tiger Woods style. Let's go.
You had all that going on, and I'm just running from minor league ballpark to minor league ballpark, wishing I was with you.
And at times I might have wished I was with you.
But here's
some losses were like, oh.
Well, here was the craziest thing though.
100 right in the pool. We ran a cabana, and right outside the cabana in the pool was a walk-up bar.
It's the best, worst thing I've ever.
Oh, yeah.
Walk-up blackjack. I was playing in the water.
In the pool.
In the pool, and boom. I think it was 80.
Done.
Just getting everything. I got like 19. I'm getting beat by 20. Like, get out of here. How's that happen? I know I feel good in here, but now you're making me not feel good in the pool.
Now I'm just gonna pee right where I'm at.
And I do. I piss in pools all day. Who doesn't? I always wondered that. Like, people are like, you don't pee in pools? I'm gonna get out. I'm not getting fucking out of the pool.
That's what chlorine's for.
Yeah, like, come on. Who gets out? People like prior wonder why this guy's in the pool for like 5 hours doing backstrokes. They never see him get out. You know, he's paying. Good.
Crazy.
Good. I'll raise my hand every time I go.
I'm not going to bore you with all the details of the minor league trek, but the one thing that was crazy ironic is the first game I saw and the last game I saw. First game was Lakewood on Saturday night. The last game was Williamsport at Staten Island on Tuesday night.
Them shots were cool.
Yeah, and both, Lakewood is like mid-A. Clearwater's high A, Lakewood's mid-A, and then Williamsport is like low-A rookie ball. So both starters for Lakewood and for Williamsport bookending this trip, both of them go into the fifth with a no-hitter. Go into the fifth with a perfect game. Come out of the fifth still with the no-hitter intact. Both of them lost their perfect game on errors in the fifth inning. They both come back out for the sixth. 2 outs in the sixth, they both lose their no-hitters. I mean, it couldn't have been scripted any better for these two guys to have, like, the same game path.
Yeah.
And then they both wind up losing one-run games.
And they both had the same game path.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It was just ridiculous.
That is funny.
Did Sixto get in any of those games?
No.
You see him?
I didn't see Sixto. I didn't see Singer. I was hoping to see Singer out at Reading, but Reading kind of got smoked the morning we were out there, and they didn't throw any of their guys that were worth anything. It was, a couple guys had mop-up duty, and I think they're kind of high on Singer at this point.
So, they're going to put him in good spots.
So they're going to put him in good spots. But
all right, wherever you're getting 17 saves at, I'll be high on you too.
I mean, it was crazy because the entire trip, in terms of the guys that I wanted to see and did I see what I expected? I absolutely did. It was just funny that the three guys that impressed me the most on the entire trip were Hoskins, Crawford, and Kingery, because they were exactly as advertised the night I went to AAA.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, and the thing about Singer, and you might agree with me on this one, but I think mentally he's built to be a closer.
Yeah.
Like mentally, I don't think, like, you getting hit off of him phases him.
No.
You know what I mean? He's just one of them guys, and I think that's built to be a reliever because you got to have that short memory to go back out the next night. And I think he's built for that big time.
And especially
big
coming
time.
from that left side, he's got that lefty twitch in his head that he's just like, that's fine, I'm just going to blow this one right by the next guy.
It's interesting, though, because
and I think that's why he's having one, he can flat out throw the baseball, but that's a part of his success. No question.
Oh,
it's the mental game. You're
right.
right.
Mental game.
It's interesting because with a lot of these injuries and stuff that have happened at the major league level, you see guys all the way down getting bumped up. So now you've got Franklin Kilome now at Double-A. You've got Sixto moving from Lakewood to Clearwater. You got guys from Williamsport, like Hazley, got bumped up from Williamsport to Lakewood. So it's what I really like to see is movement in the system. You're not a stagnant system with a bad major league team on top.
Yeah, you got to keep it moving.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's been the issue when you look back on the Phillies over the years is they didn't move guys through their system quick enough. And are they doing a better job of it? No question. They're starting to do a better job of it.
Sure.
We want Crawford, and he is 22 still.
Yeah.
But I believe next year he's got to come in with the opportunity to be your everyday starting shortstop. He has to be on the big league club next year, especially with all the kids around him. You want the kids to come, to grow together as a whole. And I think the perfect scenario, like we talked about, moving Galvis over the third and go from there. And then you can make a decision when Kingery's ready, if he is right now or not.
I still don't think
you can figure out a way. Maybe
I think you could get
maybe
another.
You get rid of Galvis and Kingery goes to second and Hernandez goes to third.
Well, you can get another. You could get another year out of Kingery in the minors.
But I don't.
He doesn't have to be protected yet.
That's
which
exactly
is good.
Yeah. I think he's still got a whole another year to it.
I think that's good.
Be protected,
and then you can really find out how much you like Hernandez. Go ahead, Rob.
I was just going to say, due to J.P. Crawford's supposed call-up, I just read earlier, since July 1st, a span of 41 games, Crawford has hit 291, 44 for 151, with 11 homers and an OPS of 998. He might be ready.
It's 11 homers since, what, July 1st, you
July
said?
1st.
Hey, Brian Wilson, public service announcement. I was fucking right again. All right? And listen, the things in that heated exchange that he said about Freddie, some things were right. And in terms of being like a leader, a capable leader, a good clubhouse guy, a good teammate, and everything that comes with that, a guy who wants to be on the field all the time, I like them kind of guys. That's why I'm like, hey, see you, Franco.
Yeah.
See you, Franco. That's why I'm willing to make that move right now and be done with it.
Well, I think there's a lot of misconstrued stuff here because we've never been Freddie haters.
You know what it is? It's Griffey, Frank Thomas in a way. Like, if you liked one, you didn't love the other, but you respected the other. And it's the same kind of thing when you're talking about your top prospect, you know, and a guy who's a Gold Glover at short, you know, you have arguments for both sides.
Yeah.
So the best case is, hey, one of the guys go to third, and let's make it work together. Right. Bigger names have done it, so don't get cute. Right? Bigger names have done it for team-wise, and Freddie's a guy who just wants to play, right, Mike?
Yeah.
He just wants to be on the field playing, and I think that's a move he would make in a heartbeat for this baseball team.
And to the point you made earlier, though, if you want to keep Freddie up the middle, you move Freddie to second, you move Caesar to third. Caesar's played third.
He can play anywhere in the infield. Yeah, he can play anywhere in the infield. He can even play a little short.
Yeah.
So I think that's the way to do it because I think we've all talked about Franco. We've seen enough of.
Yeah, Franco is who he is. And
We've
he
seen
stinks.
enough of. Yep, not good enough. And it's one thing if you can pick it a little bit.
And that, again, I go back to something I said many weeks ago. It's a shame Cody Ashley couldn't hit because he could at least pick it and at least gave you one side.
Well, you know
but
what
he could hit a lick.
But you know what Freddie's going to do that.
Right.
You know
but
what
like
Freddie's
I was
gonna do.
never a Franco guy because I thought Ashley was so much better defensively, but he just couldn't hit a lick.
Well, this team should be a better baseball team next year because I think they need – well, we know what they need to address. We need to address bullpen help, and we have money to spend, and we need to address starting pitching.
All right. Well, here's the other thing, though, is with that, if let's say Maikel Franco does get traded, I think that's also going to be a big wake-up call to Odubel to
Get your shit together.
You're doing it on the field, but you need to get your shit together.
Yeah, no, it's a wake-up call for everybody.
Because if the quote-unquote leader of the Spanish Mafia is gone, then, you know, Freddie and or Odubel may not be far behind.
But guess what? You know, if you want Crawford, you know, and you want to do what's best for your baseball team, this is what's best to do for your baseball team. And essentially, you don't have to go out and spend money on Machado next year. You don't have to take that route. You can go start and pitching. You can go in different directions, right? If you like Galvis that much defensively, right? Because he's going to bring you just as good as Glove Machado is going to bring you. I mean, you would think, especially that you think his feet move a little better from being a shortstop as well. A little quicker side to side, I would assume.
Machado's a shortstop, too.
Yeah. I know.
He played short in the
I know, but he's got a little bigger, Daddy.
Yeah, yes.
All right.
Yeah,
but I'm saying it's comparable defensively. We can make that argument.
All right. Well,
Some shortstops can do it, some can't, though, when you move to the hot corner.
No, you're absolutely right.
True.
I mean, some people will make the argument that third base is a power position, but I'll take Freddie hitting 270 with his 20 homers before I would take Maikel Franco hitting 215 again with his 30 homers.
Well, I mean, I think it's only a power position, and you're right.
I mean, I'll take Machado.
Traditionally,
I'm not saying I'm not. I'm going to clarify that again. I'm not taking Freddie Galvis.
If the opportunity's there.
I'm saying if you would rather spend money on your rotation and go that direction.
I just don't know if those arms are there yet.
Exactly. So, you know, they got to make a decision.
Yeah. But you're right. I mean,
Machado's a bad clubhouse guy, too, from all you hear, too.
Really?
That's what I hear. I hear that.
I
hear them rumblings, and it sours me.
I've heard it too, but I also feel like it's a big part of it is that he's just not happy in Baltimore.
Yeah,
and if he goes somewhere where he's happy or where he's getting paid, that could flip pretty quickly.
Right.
I don't know that it will, but it could.
Yeah, but you better have a clubhouse that he comes into that he's not walks in as your leader then.
Yeah,
and this clubhouse ain't built for that because he's going to walk in as your leader.
Especially the money that you're going to end up giving him.
Yeah. I mean, you know you got your ace in Nola. You know, just the adjustments he did. You know, lower half, rebounds quicker, and it's proven its worth. And you got to love when a big legger was willing to work on things. Yeah, so that's all I got on that.
Yeah.
Sixers. Schedule came out.
Oh, yeah, I forgot we had to do that part, too.
We got 5 minutes.
All right, yeah. 50-plus if Embiid's healthy.
Well, let me ask you this. So let's back into some math here real quick. So NBA schedules 82 games, they got 14 sets of back-to-backs. So if you take 82 minus 14 is, 68? So does JoJo play at least those 68? Does Ben play at least those 68?
They fucking better.
You would hope.
Hey, there's like, okay, maybe you missed 5 games throughout the year. That's it. I mean, there's no sit down. This isn't,
It's not Tankapalooza.
Yeah, it just doesn't continue. At some point, it's like, okay, you're either going to play a lot or you're not. And then you're not the guy we need you to be. I mean, and this is the year where you're like, okay, restrictions are off on everybody. Go play. Now, if you want to give him, and that's where one of your days off, say you schedule it in, hey, we're going to give Embiid, say, 7 games off throughout the year, hypothetically, right? Well, if that's some of the games you want to use it for, then that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, but I think that number, that 14, I think is dead on for both of them.
Okay.
Not that they're all going to be those back-to-backs, but I think
You think they missed 14 games?
I think right about that number is where it's going to come into. Some of them are going to be the back-to-backs. They'll play some back-to-backs. You know what I mean? But
right, they got to play 70. They got to play 70.
all right, so we're off by 2.
No, it matters. They got to play 70. Stop with the 68 goddamn shit.
But we're off by 2 games.
It doesn't matter. They're kids. They should be playing 70-plus basketball games at this point.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but we're not winning the championship.
You better lock it up.
Not right now.
You don't know. You don't know. It can't be freaking dangerous.
Here,
Trust him. You don't say that about him. I'm gonna tweet him.
But in all
say that about
honesty,
Joe.
if I'm Brett and I'm being charged with making sure though that they may not have a minutes restrictions, but maybe they do rest them on back-to-backs, I would take every single one of those back-to-backs and say, okay, JoJo's sitting this one, Ben's sitting this
absolutely.
one.
Yeah, you stagger
You
them.
don't ever sit them at the same time
Can't.
if you're scheduling days off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't think you go out and you bring a Redick in. And not that Redick's anything special, but you don't spend money really unless you're trying to be better.
No.
I'm not
Right.
saying them sitting to 14 games is them still tanking. I just think it's guys that haven't played a full season yet, and we're still working them back into
So how long
the
do you,
NBA.
But how long do you wait to say, okay, the gloves are off. Now you got to play as much as you can play.
You got to remember, if you're talking about a 50-win team, they're playing in the June. So that's even more games that they're going to play. So if you're sitting 14 so that they can go on a run in the playoffs, you'll take that.
Different story.
You're calling them a 50-win team. That's a playoff team.
Okay, but I'm okay with, like, you want to sit 8 games? You want to sit 10? You want to sit 12? Okay, you're still playing 70.
All right, but it's still.
But that matters.
That's
That's 4 different games. That's 4 more games you're adding on to make it 14. That's a lot. I don't think they need to be that many off.
You just went to 12.
Went to 10.
No, you went to 12.
I did go to 12. I lied to myself, too.
Ladies and gentlemen, New Jersey Matt.
But no, I think 10. 72 games is my number. That's my number.
All right.
10 games is a fair amount to sit out. It's fair for both of them. But you can even minute restriction on the back-to-back. Like you can play them a full, however long you want to play game 1, and back-to-back maybe you only play them 30.
That's how I think they get around
and that's
it.
fine.
They take those sets of back-to-back games and they say, these 2 games, you're getting a total of X number of minutes.
Yeah.
But I don't want to know.
Right.
Does that make sense anymore? I don't want to know about it.
We don't want to know that there's a minutes restriction.
Yeah. I don't care anymore. Don't tell me about it. That's your reason. That's fine. But okay, did he play 38 plus?
Yeah.
The night before though, did he play 40 minutes? How much are they playing? That's gonna matter. But I don't want to hear restrictions anymore or any of them phrases. Them phrases are over for me.
Sure.
The process is here. We trusted it. Now we're here.
This is what we wanted.
And if Embiid's healthy, he wins 50 plus. They win 50 plus games.
Win total. Off the top of your head.
I'm still 40-45.
Tommy.
I mean, that's still 12 plus off of last year.
Absolutely.
51. Let's go.
I mean, if you want me a number, I'm going to go 43.
51.
48. Robbie.
Over 45.
45. Over under in Vegas, I think is 46.5. Going over.
Just
Vegas telling me a lot.
I know we're on it. I just real quick. There's a couple tough
step
stretches.
anytime we want. Doesn't have to hit a freaking
I'll
mark.
go 47 then.
Doesn't have to hit a mark.
Now that I know the Vegas number.
There's a
Go over.
Yeah.
Like it. Come
There's
on
a
with
couple
me.
tough stretches here that they play.
Oh, no question.
I mean, this early West Coast spread where they play Utah, Sacramento, Golden State, L.A., or the Lakers and Clippers, but then they come back home and play some of those teams again. So,
Yeah.
like,
They
you're
have
going
Golden-
away, and
they
then
have-
you're coming home.
Right, they have Golden State twice in 9 days.
Yeah, and then same thing. You're at
Split.
Cleveland,
Exactly.
Cleveland, at New Orleans, Minnesota.
No, I want to sweep.
Yeah.
Minnesota.
Sweep the champs.
Home for Oklahoma City.
City would blow up.
Back on the road for Chicago. You know what I mean? I'm just so there's a couple stretches. The big stretch that I see is end of the year, December, right around the Christmas time, through midway through January. That's a tough stretch of games in
Well,
there.
that's their usual.
It's
They
your-
got to get out of town because the
Yep,
ice capades
you're
or
on
whatever.
the road, and then when
Disney
you come
on Ice.
home, you got San Antonio, Detroit, Boston, Toronto. The teams that
You know what I
chasing
say to all
right
Right,
that?
but the
You know
one-
what I say to all that? With Embiid, I'm not scared of none of them.
I'm not saying I'm scared.
want them all.
I'm looking at stretches of
I
games
want
that are
them
going to
all.
be tough
Right,
to
but the-
navigate.
They're
the
going to
one-
dictate a lot.
The
Yeah.
one,
Yep.
the one piece of that stretch though that
Take shots
it
at you all
does
the time.
work in their favor
Look for
is
things.
so they have the London game on a Thursday night. Well, they
Who's
have
going?
They have 5 days
Do we get
off.
credentials?
They have 5 days off before the London game
call
and
Colangelo
3
a
days
rat-faced
off
bastard.
after. So that trip, and it's Philly and Boston, both of them. It's what, 6-hour flight?
Yeah.
It's like the equivalent of going to Seattle.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's funny, though.
Yeah.
You get us media credentials, I'll be there.
That's
Yeah,
what
I
he
just
said.
called Colangelo a rat-faced bastard, and now we're
Work on that.
yeah.
But no, that was the
Brian's
one,
a great guy.
That was the one interesting thing I saw when the schedule came out was the couple tough stretches that we're going to know very early what this team is, and then in the dog days of the season, right at the end of the year into the new year, what type of team do we really have now that we're 20, 30 games into the year?
Yep, no question about it. So you're going under.
Yeah, just slightly. Yeah.
I'm 48.
You're over, and
Slightly over.
Rob's over at 47, and I'm over at 51.
Yeah.
And mine's based
Man,
on
you're-
JoJo.
you're
I'm
aggressive.
just thinking of it. 45 puts him 7 games over 500. Definitely in strong playoff contention, 5th, 6th, 7th, the way these are conference usually works out. You bump that up to 47, then it's like a 10 game. That would be a huge step for this team. And they got the talent base to do it because I think Markelle Fultz is just going to light it up from game 1.
Oh, I agree. And you know who Embiid is when he's on the court. And
Yeah.
from what you know of Ben Simmons, he's legit. And you know Dario's a goddamn baller.
Did you
and you
see-
know Rocco can defend.
You see-
So, and you know
you see
JJ
what-
can shoot. So let's go.
You see what Dario's doing over there over the summer?
Just crushing.
Oh my God!
Just crushing.
It's insane. It's almost like somebody told him, "You're not starting next year," and he went, "Oh, homie shows you."
Homie, the best player in the NBA nobody talks about or knows about. That's who Homie is.
Unbelievable.
All right.
He's still rookie of the year.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he was.
Listen, we want to thank Gibson Mayer LLC, sponsoring the show every Wednesday night.
2 years now.
2 years.
It's our guy.
It is our guy. Make him your guy. GibsonMayer.com. I thank Soap Stash LLC. Find him on the web, soapstash.com, ScanzanoSports.com, SportsOutletInc.com. Stream Smart Vinny. Links in here. Get your Stream Smart. You'll get Mayweather, McGregor free. And don't worry, we have a little trick up her sleeve. You'll see it as well. For Tom Arnone, Michael Mataraki, Greg Mwakovic, Rob Povey on the 1s and 2s. They did another edition of Tom
Mike
AM.
in the PM.
I'm still on Vegas time. And then a bachelor party this weekend.
And now we're all on Vegas
Festivities.
time.
Let's go roll.
Festivities. We out.
Peace.
welcome in to the worldwide leader of what? Real Talk, AGDRadio.com.